Introducing PubCoin. PubCoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into PubCoins. PubCoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here. Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys soon.
Your membership to Gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses. We are racing camels today.
Shout out to the Gold members. We're racing in San Antonio immediately here. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Matt Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass. Oldie, no! There he goes. Oldie in the lead now. K. Wolf falls back. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. Here. Oh, look at Nussquash Allen bursting out here. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy.
Oh my goodness, he's in the mix here. Jimmy, take it home. This is our first dog race ever.
19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Ken. Kenny Ken wants a piece of the pie. Put his schnoz up front. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make it right? Can Red Small make it right to be $50?
Bouquett, you son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Ken, Smoke and Mirrors, Director 97. Home. That is the way. Here comes Jason Meyer, the Eldorado Custodian, Billy Friedrich. Those one all coming down to the finish.
Coin! Meyer, nowhere!
Oh no! Fanatical Jim!
From the corporate Peter Loshak, legendary sports handicapper, more dapper than a dawn. Brother young phenom, known as Jimmy, who declared one day that the bag was here to stay. Information like a PSA, when we all PSR, Pub Sports Radio is all. There's a man named Slaughter and he flipped the script. No competition in this but they quit the trip. But we say we be pubbing, betting with the bag and you love it. You want a top 10, we above it. Let's check.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to Pub Sports Radio. Jimmy the Bag. I'm Peter Loshak. It's April 15th, tax day, baby. And we got the NBA play-in tournament. We got MLB in full. We got NHL, which is fun as hell, Jimmy the Bag. There's really like no part of the NHL except for like right after the All-Star break. That's not super fun for me to handicap. Right after the All-Star break, not that fun, not that successful, and also not fun. Every other time in the NHL season, super fun. These days, the very end of the NFL season, the NHL regular season, super fun. Jimmy the Bag, a bunch of plays I'm already liking. It's going to be a good show. What do you think, Jim?
Well, it was not fun for me last night. I was extremely confident in the Montreal Canadiens. Got a bunch of friends rolling with the Canadiens and up 2-0 after the first period and losing the shootout. I'm on a horrific run in overtime and shootouts right now. Horrific run. So it was very, very upsetting. It's been a really bad 3 or 4 days for me in NHL. And tonight's card is my favorite card all year long. I've beaten market moves already by 15, 60 cents. I'm going for big scores tonight. So, but it's bad. It's gone bad for me in a time of year where I usually dominate. So now all of a sudden I'm down 6.44 units on the season. And mark my words, when we finish Thursday night, when I come in on Friday, I'll be back in the black on the regular season. I've hammered this card hard. I don't know if there'll be any additions because I absolutely love what I'm on. Right. But I'm frustrated. I'm really frustrated. I was so confident in the Habs, and I need them to make the playoffs. I got a big bet on them at plus 600, and it wouldn't be as big of a deal if I didn't make some mistakes with my futures on the Rangers. And I need the Habs to come in just to clean up mistakes. But I was just so, being extra confident on a situation doesn't necessarily help the ROI. That loss really stung last night, man. Really, really stung. So.
Yeah. Do you want my thoughts on all this, Jimmy the Bag?
Of course.
Yeah, I actually did have Chicago last night. I also had San Jose as a huge dog, not because I thought that Chicago was likely to win the game, but just in NHL, I've noticed that in these kinds of situations where you got one team that's obviously worse, another team that's obviously better, and they need it, but you got one of these minus 300 lines. It's just very, very, very scary. You know what I mean, Jimmy the Bag? And Rangers in Florida, another perfect example. I had the Rangers there. I had San Jose. I also had Edmonton as a big
Florida
dog.
Had nothing to play for in that game.
Let's go ahead.
You're talking the one game Montreal had everything to play for. The other games, no team had everything to play for. It's
just in general, anytime you see a massive dog like that.
So do you think Minnesota Wild's going to lose to the Ducks tonight?
Minnesota. Oh, are you going? That I did not take either team. There's a bunch of bets I did make. That game definitely makes me nervous, Jimmy the Bag. I'm not going to call for it yet.
I don't know what I'm going to do at all. Wild on the puck line. Wild on the puck line. I'm using wild money line in a parlay as well. Doesn't make me nervous at all.
Okay, yeah. I got to be honest. This is what we do here, right? There's a lot of bets I made. I'm sure you probably already took Seattle, right?
Of course, but I was late to the party on Seattle. For whatever reason, I was just I didn't bet it till a few hours ago, so it already moved 30 cents.
I'm sure you already took Calgary, right?
I'm all over Calgary, all over them. I got them on the -1 line at plus 186. When I bet them, the money line was plus 115.
Of course. And as everyone knows, especially Jose Bouquett, not afraid of big faves. So I did take Tampa Bay. I did take them. The Anaheim-Minnesota game, no, I'm very scared of that one. Just being honest here, Jim.
No, and that's important. It's important. Yeah. It's exciting. Let's get to work in NHL. Okay. There's a couple things here that have to go down first. Obviously, welcome to the show. Great to see all of you guys. We've got Justin McKelvey, Joe Todero in the house, Samit, Steve G, Nate Dogg 420, Ronnie Lofton, Serious Business, Wine Time Sports, Gerardo Hernandez, Sir Mackey, Kong's Clips, Razor, Sharp Picks, Viper. Great group. Thank you guys for joining us. Slatsy ready to go. Big Scott in the house. He's on the Blue Jackets -1. Caps money line. I'm interested in that Caps game. I have not moved on it. Steve G says Blue Jackets got to win out. Sean Pulliam ready to get to work. We got Swiggy in the house. Ron Crawford, MLB spreadsheet dog is the White Sox. Ron Crawford, NHL play of the day is Seattle. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Nate Dogg 420 says players are resting for the playoffs usually. Now you can't really. There's a gray area right now. They're trying to stop players from just actually resting. There has to be some sort of injury. But there is resting listed on a couple of the spots, so it's a gray area. But yes, teams do that, and they've less so this year than in prior years. Before we get started here, some important things to discuss here. First off, our great friend Matty Ice, star of the Taint, play of the day. He's been a part of Peter and I's shows since I got to sit beside Peter for the first time. And he has sent me a message here that I'd like to read to you guys. He says, I've been off the grid for a while. Miss you guys and miss the show. If you remember last January, my mom had cancer in her kidney and had it removed. She recovered well, but the cancer is back and they can't remove it. We're going to try chemo and radiation for a while and see if that helps. Says the Lowbaggers have changed my life and I will always be grateful. They got me through 14 days in the hospital with Briggsy. Every day, all I could do was be with you guys on the show, and it helped me get through. They were there the first time my mom was in the hospital battling this, and he's such a kind man. He says, I selfishly, like as if this is selfishly at all. It's not at all. Says, ask if they could be with me again while my family and I do it all over again. So if we could all just take a second and take more than a second, but here right now, take some time just to send Matty Ice and his family and his mom just all the positivity and healing energy. And everybody does this differently. However you do it, if you could just send it off to Matty Ice and to the Randall family, whom we care about so much. So, Matty, we are thinking about you. If you guys, want to send him a message, just that we love him, love the family and the strength of his mom, which he's shown before battling through this one time. If we could do that, it would mean a lot to all of us. So send out the love and the thoughts, and however you do it, to Matty Ice. And I think that it's important in life to to fully grasp to the best of our abilities the cycle of life and how difficult and unrelenting death can be at sometimes, but also how the light can come in and we can see the other side of it. And so I think it's an important time, after talking about what Matty Ice is going through, to also talk about the Zertucci family and our friend Guillermo. He's going to be a grandfather again. His son Elijah is having his first child, Eli, who is a big part of our community. And this is life. We have to deal with the most horrible things, but we can't let that take away from the most positive of things. And so while we're giving out prayers to the Randall family, I also want to celebrate the Zertucci family and understand the yin and yang and the black and white and just how difficult life is. But we also get to celebrate certain things. And so congratulations to the Zertuccis and to Eli being a father. He's going to be an incredible father. He's got a great father to look up to. So I also want to give my love and excitement for the Zertucci family. I do think that it's important to talk about the difficulties as well as the positive side of this very difficult world that we live in. So our thoughts are with the Randall family and our love to and excitement for the Zertucci family. And we'll keep with updates here on both sides, as Eli will be a father quite soon. That's why they were able to announce it. So we'll be talking about all of that. I'm not sure what happened to Mr. Loshak. I have no idea what happened. He just disappeared here. So let's get to work here in NHL. I imagine that Mr. Loshak will be back here shortly. Let's roll. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And it's, the losses, especially last night when I was so confident and I came on Medicate Monday with enormous confidence. And I know a lot of people, used it as a parlay piece and tied it all together. The Habs loss hurt real bad. It hurt real bad. Steve G hedging plus 900 for the Habs to miss the playoffs. So he says joking. Talk sports with JT in the house. Great to see you, JT, my man. Let's get to work because I've hammered this card, and this is the most confident I've been in a card in a while. And I expect glory. And I've invested heavily. I did go up to 1.5 units on all these bets today. maybe that's a bad move, but this is the time of year where I generally succeed, and I haven't been, and I'm just going to hammer away. We start with the Devils at the Boston Bruins. New Jersey Devils 41-32-7, 22-16-2 on the road at the Boston Bruins, 33-39-9, 20-14-6 at home at TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. I couldn't disagree with you more, AM. Now, the Devils Bruins is a throwaway game, not in betting on this game. But look, again, we don't need to agree on things. Jacob Markstrom, 26-16-6, 2.50 goals against average, 900 save percentage, 4 shutouts. Jeremy Swayman, 22-29-6, 3.08 goals against average, 894 save percentage, 4 shutouts. Now, obviously, AM, we cap differently. You use a model, and your models become a mess at this time of year. For those of us that are situation cappers, this is our best time of year. So I understand why you want to put your action away here, because your model's not going to help. Just different cappers do different things with the same goal. Devils power play 27.4%, 82.2%. Penalty killing, Boston 15.4%. Power play 76.9%. Penalty killing. Let's get into the line history here for this one. I did think about backing Boston here, and I couldn't do it. Boston just beat up on the Devils 7-2 last week. It's the same sort of thing with the Capitals. Are we going to see any kind of fight back from these teams that have made the playoffs? Look, I don't want to be involved in this spot when there's so many that are beautiful. Devils open up -149. They're now -134. There's been an over 10-cent move to the Boston Bruins, a move that I agree with. In saying that, I still don't know if I want to get down with it. Let's get into the total here for this one. This total is a 5.5. It's -123 to the under. Open up -108 to the under. So we've had 15 cents of movement towards the under. There's Truth Teller in the house. What up, Truth Teller? Nate Dogg leaning to the over in this one. Devils coming off their third straight loss, 1-0 at home versus the Islanders on Sunday. They've been outscored 12-4 over these 3 losses. Jack Hughes, of course, done for the season with the shoulder injury. They're playing without defenseman Dougie Hamilton and Jonas Siegenthaler. They hope to get Siegenthaler back in round 1. Dougie Hamilton won't be available until round 2 at the earliest. And then right winger Stefan Nason, on the other hand, he is rested Sunday. He should be back tonight. Nason has generated 21 goals, 40 points, 162 shots, 150 hits. He's been good this year. And Paul Cotter's been suspended for 2 games. They can't really rest too many players because of the suspensions and the injuries and things of that nature. So Cotter is going to miss this final 2 games of the regular season. He's available for game 1 of the playoffs versus Carolina. 16 goals, 22 points, 90 shots, 245 hits, 52 penalty minutes. He's been excellent this year, and he's a sniper too. He's going to get better and better. He's going to be a fixture here. And the Bruins will finish the year without defenseman Charlie McAvoy, of course, Hampus Lindholm, center Mark Kastelic. They come in off their second loss in 3 games, 4-1 at the Penguins on Sunday. I imagine that they're going to be able to play with some effort here, but I just don't find this too appealing. Let's roll on to game 2 here. And our man Von Polo in the house saying my grandmother's supposed to get her cancer removed next week. This doesn't give me much hope. Von Polo, I don't think that's the angle to take. I think that when a loved one, gets the cancer removed and you get, a clean bill of health, we know what cancer does. I mean, but acting like as if it's just going to come back or it's definitely going to come back, it's just no way to live. So, I mean, I can understand having it in the back of your mind, but try to keep it as far back there as possible. The only thing that we can do for our loved ones in these situations is support them to the best of our abilities and be as positive as we can in the tough circumstances. So, and your grandma is so tough. I mean, just because of another example not going that way, which we have tons of, doesn't mean it's going to happen for you. I can completely understand that feeling, and I completely understand why you would share it right now. But your family is full of fighters, and your grandma is a fighter, and you just got to be as supportive as possible, even if you fear, what will happen down the road. Peter Loshak, let's get to work here. Black Thor King.
All right. Sorry, my internet was out before, but I think it's better now, right?
Yeah, you are in business. I am not moving on Devils Bruins.
Okay. Yeah. First of all, I heard you talk about Matty Ice and everyone having their issues. I just want to second all that.
Sure.
Maybe we'll talk more about that later. But yeah, New Jersey, Boston. I was thinking just very quickly, just for my own sake, Jimmy the Bag. New Jersey's been losing, locked into their spot. Boston's kind of calling up rookies. I was thinking about Boston, but is New Jersey going to try to get a win here?
I don't think so. But they also lost 7-2 to the Bruins a week ago. If I'm just very confident in some spots on this board today.
Right.
And because of that, I just don't feel the need to move on some of these spots where I question effort. I don't think the Devils or the Capitals want to be going into playoffs, on losing streaks. But how important is it? I don't have that answer.
Yeah.
So
okay, I'm an inch away from making Boston an official play, but okay, let's move on.
I like it. I like it. I think the line's moving towards them for a reason. I have some interest in it. Some interest. I get it. I completely understand the spot. We got a couple of things here. Philly Eagle Flyer, his girl Kristen, turning 43 today, needs a birthday pick. I've copied and pasted. We have just the man for the job here in Lotals Loshak. Just the man for the job in Lotals Loshak. So we can get this up for you. But he needs time. He needs time to marinate this kind of brilliance here.
On today's card, I think I don't need any time, Jimmy the Bag. Not only that, I'm thinking maybe the old Seattle-Calgary parlay special for Kristen because she's a special person. You feel me, Jim?
I like that a lot. Seattle.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in more in depth later on, but I'll make that official. Special parlay for a special person. Most of the other people that I give birthday picks to are not special. Kristen is special, so we're going to give her a parlay. Calgary and Seattle, moneyline parlay. I'll look for some lines and make the official, give you the official odds. But that's it. Don't need time to marinate. Usually I do, but this card, as you said, Jimmy the Bag, don't really.
I like it. Saturated. I do also have a parlay myself that I bet yesterday for today's card. Let's roll into our second game on the board. And this is the only spot, Pete, where a team needs to win that I haven't bet them. And maybe I'm leaving money on the table here. But historically, the Sabres and Senators, when they're having bad seasons, step up when they play the Maple Leafs. And I just had some hesitation here. And Platinum Paul, it's his birthday. And he is in Vegas. Happy birthday, Platinum Paul. Happy birthday, Kristen. This is great. So I'm going to copy and paste this. Platinum Paul doing it up in Vegas for his birthday. I love it. We got Res Mob, Rochester Johnny, Just My 2 Cents, Kong Clips. Okay, let's roll here with Leafs, Sabres here. Joseph Walvers, UP Lokinen is listed. Wall has not been very good over the last stretch. He's lost the starting job to Stolars. 2.72 goals against average, 909 save percentage, 1 shutout. Lokinen, 24, 23, and 5. 3.20 goals against average, 886 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Toronto power play being excellent all year, 25.2%. Penalty killing, 77.9%. Brandon Carlo has really helped this team defensively, fortify themselves defensively. Riley's been much better over the last little while as well. McCabe, of course, is not in the lineup right now, and he and Tanev, these guys are of so much importance coming down into the playoffs here. They don't have toughness, and because of that, because of their lack of toughness, McCabe is so crucial to this team, and so is Tanev a bit to a lesser extent. But they understand what's at hand here, and they are pretty confident they're still going to win the division, despite Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Jake McCabe likely not playing. They can't put them on IR right now, and they can't take Max Pacioretty off of IR. Hakanpää and Pacioretty can't come off of IR because they'll be over the cap. So David Camp also day-to-day. I don't expect Ekman-Larsson and McCabe to be there. For these Buffalo Sabres, you have Owen Power done for the year now with a lower body injury. Of course, number 1 overall pick 2 years ago is phenomenal. Josh Norris not coming back. Jordan Greenway and Tyson Kozak out as well. So the Leafs have come in off their third straight win, 4-1 at the Hurricanes on Sunday. They've allowed just 12 goals over their last 8 games. They're playing better defensively than I've ever seen this group play in my life watching this group. The Sabres coming off their third straight loss, 7-4 at Tampa on Sunday. And let's take a look at the line history, as this was the only game that with a team that needs a win that I haven't moved on. And I could be leaving money on the table. This total opened up at 6. It's now at 6.5. There has been a slight move to the under since it got up to this number at 6.5. And then on the money line right now, the Leafs are minus 153. It's interesting. Opening up minus 159, now minus 153. There's a couple teams that need wins where the market isn't moving in their direction. This is one of them. Swiggy says Sabres have been playing well, gave Florida a fight the game before Tampa. Peter, are you moving on this one?
No, this one. First of all, I will make the Bruins official. Plus 121 money line right there, baby. Let me see. Yeah, this one is tough. I know you're saying that the Leafs are still playing for the division title, right?
They have to win a game, one game,
right. Or but it's essentially locked. It's not. I mean, it's not 100% locked up, but it's
with 2 games left.
What?
There is some concern here with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Honestly, right. They're not a team that's handled pressure very well. Yeah. They have to win one of these games, and with just 2 games left, it's not essentially in. This could come down to a pressure situation on the final night of the year.
Yeah, I was thinking about an under or a first period under, but just very mildly.
Yeah, this isn't, and Steve G sprinkling on the draw here at plus 360 as well.
The good goalies are going to be in for both, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, I might make something official.
Well, but not Stolarz. He's not going to be in that. It's Joseph Wall I've got listed.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I was expecting. Oh, okay.
Does anybody have that? It could let us know if we're off on this one. What I expect is what I've got listed is Wall. I can't add to that.
I was assuming Stolarz would be in there, but okay, right. Not research.
It's interesting. I would think that they want to have this game locked in, cash it, have the win of have the division wrapped up in the Atlantic. So that's what I'm expecting.
But Buffalo, they're winning. They lost on the road recently, but before that, their winning was fundamental, right?
Are we talking about? Sorry, say that again.
Like Buffalo, they oh shit, Reimer's expected.
Reimer's been better than Luokkanen. I know that's crazy to say.
All right, pass for me on this one.
All right, yeah, I'm off of the spot as well. Nate Dogg on Toronto money line, and Pub Sports TV in the house. We are going to pin our Pub Sports TV link. If you could take a second to subscribe to Pub Sports TV, would mean a lot to us here. But Swiggy says Luokkanen is confirmed on RotoWire. So it's a little early for the confirmation, but I would trust it. And Limited Benefit says we should smash the Sabres on their last home game Thursday versus the Flyers. I agree. I think that's absolutely right, Limited Benefits. I think it's absolutely right.
Luokkanen confirmed, yes. And Stolarz expected.
Okay, that's much better. That will help. Now I'm surprised it's I think it's fascinating that the line hasn't moved to the Leafs, hasn't moved to the Blues. I think it's fascinating.
All right. I'll make under 6.5 minus 117 official.
All right. Loshak on the under 6.5 minus 115. All right, let's roll on to the next spot on the board. Now I have 7 bets on the NHL card. We just haven't got there yet. 7 p.m. Eastern. We're not here yet. Chicago Blackhawks 24, 46, and 11, 9, 26, and 5 on the road. At the Ottawa Senators 44, 30, and 6, 26, 11, and 2 at home at Canadian Tire Center in Ottawa, Ontario. Spencer Knight versus Linus Ullmark. Knight 16, 16, 3, 2.72 goals against average, 901 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Ullmark 24, 14, and 3, 2.67 goals against average, 911 save percentage, 4 shutouts. Again, this is just listed here, but we expect it because Soderblom was in net last night for the Blackhawks. Chicago power play 24.7%, penalty killing 79.9%. For Ottawa, 23% power play, 78% penalty killing. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We have the Senators at minus 277. That's crazy to me. Now, I understand that the Blackhawks played their hearts out at the Bell Center last night, but still, it's a huge line. This also got up to minus 302. So this was at 10:46 a.m. So in the last 45 minutes, we've had a 25-cent move towards the Blackhawks or away from the Senators is probably better put. From a total perspective here, We have a 6. It's minus 118 to the over. It's opened up minus 107 to the over, an 11-cent move towards the over. Chicago's on the second half back-to-back after that big 4-3 win in the shootout last night over Montreal. That really hurt. They'll be without centers Colton Dock and Jason Dickinson for this final game. Senators coming off their second straight win, 5th in 6 games, 4-3 in overtime at home over the Flyers on Sunday. That hurt so bad. I had the Flyers plus 210.
Which game was that?
Flyers, Ottawa, Philadelphia on Sunday. I had the Flyers plus 210. They lost in overtime. They were up 3-2 late. Left wing and captain Brady Tkachuk will miss the rest of the regular season, but he's expected to be back for the playoffs, expected to be 100% go. And they're resting players each night, so we don't know who's going to rest tonight. They rest Ridley, Greg, and David Perron versus the Flyers. It's unclear who will rest tonight, but somebody will rest tonight. And there's our guy, Gerald, and Forsberg is confirmed for the Sens. So it's going to be Forsberg for the Sens. Gerald Jones says, pubbing low bag fan, best bet Max Fried over 5.5 Ks minus 130 from Gerald Jones. Anything you want to add? And look at that. Philly Eagle Flyer is in our NHL playoff pool. Shout out to Philly Eagle Flyer and to all that will be competing with us here in the playoff pool. It means a ton to us that you signed up, Philly Eagle Flyer. Thank you so much. So, and I got Gerald Jones's action here on Fried. Peter, are you making moves on this one?
No, but very strong lean to the over, though.
Yeah, that makes sense. There's not going to be a lot of defensive accountability. It takes a lot of, intensity to play defensively accountable. And I don't know if there'll be much in this hockey game here.
All right, it's just.
And limited benefits has it. It's Sanderson, Jensen, and Giroux, the main players that will be out. Hodgson won't play as well, but so Jake Sanderson out. That's the move. I mean, Giroux, all of that. Steve G purchased NHL playoff pool ticket this morning. Thank you, Steve G, my man. And there's Razor Sharp picks linking that Pub Sports TV link. Thank you, Razor, my man. Nate Dogg on Cousins to score. Both Cousins will be in, but he's taking Dylan, not Nick, who's now healthy and will be playing tonight. So will Crookshank. It looks like these two guys are the ones who won't make won't be playing game one of the playoffs, but will play these last 2 games. I get the feel for the over as well. I get it. Makes sense to me, but I'm not moving on it.
Shall we? Neither. But money line would be Blackhawks or nothing. Just letting you know.
Yeah, I get it. Oh, Johnny Guns, all of you guys I'll be putting everybody in that won the horse races here very shortly, Johnny Guns. So there's you, Crystal Craig, there's a few others. We're adding 2 more this week, but you'll be in. Leave that to me. I'll take care of that with Swiggy. I'll take care of that tonight. I'll get it in so you'll be able to do that. So I got you, Johnny. And everybody, so there's 4 of you guys who've won entry, and I'll make sure that that's locked down for you guys. All right, let's move on to my first action here. On the card. I haven't tweeted out the show yet of the link of it, so I'm trying to do that. So let me just move this off.
I got to do that too.
Here we go. So we have what I think is just a phenomenal spot on the board. As soon as Montreal lost in the shootout, I immediately bet the Columbus Blue Jackets 38, 33, 9, 13, 23, and 4 on the road at the Philadelphia Flyers 33, 37, and 10, 28, 19, and 1 at home at Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. AM says misery loves company. Flyers money line is good here. Jet Greaves does have a chance to become the starting goaltender for the Columbus Blue Jackets next year. He's earned the opportunity. These games are really important to him. Right now, Elvis Merzlikins is day-to-day with an upper body injury. Samuel Urson, 22, 16, and 5, 3.14 goals against average, 82 save percentage, 2 shots. He's been absolutely terrible here. Absolutely terrible down the stretch. We have Columbus, 19.1% power play, 76.5% penalty killing. Healthy. The Jake Christensen is day-to-day, defenseman. But other than that, and Merzlikins, of course, but this is a healthy group that struggled with injuries all year long. Philadelphia power play 14.8%, penalty killing at 77.8%. Take a look at the line history here. We have a 6. The 6 is heavily juiced to the over, or you can get a 6.5 heavily juiced to the under. It's basically how you want to bet it. This line has moved towards the over. And then Columbus right now is minus 140. There's been buyback. This got up to minus 155 at 9:54 this morning. And then the buyback moved this to minus 133 at 10:30. It's now minus 140. There's been 28 cents of movement. And so obviously there are sharps like AM that believe in this. It says teams with nothing to play for love ruining desperate playoff runs for other teams. Sure. Yeah, no doubt about it. Jackets coming off their 4 straight win, 4-1 at the Capitals on Sunday, and they need to win their final 2 games tonight against Philadelphia and Thursday at home versus the Islanders, and hope the Habs lose tomorrow night at home to Carolina, and they will be in the playoffs. The main thing is they have to put pressure on them here. The pig milk play today is in. It is the over 218.5 in Atlanta, Orlando. So that, by the way, that Friday with you guys, I went 12-5 in NBA, up 6.5 units or so. It was a wonderful day, and I should have hammered Sunday, and I took a couple shots, which I shouldn't have, and ended up 2-3 on Sunday, which is so stupid. I should have just doubled down on the Nuggets and the Blazers, and instead I added to it, which bothered. There's Mr. Belvedere. He smashed that Friday NBA card. It was a 4-0 board sweepage for Mr. Belvedere. It was extremely sharp action from him, and he shared it with all of us. And there's TJ. Says last year's runner-up is back in the NHL pool, baby. Let's go. Shout out to our guy TJ. Thank you, TJ, my man. And Action Jackson says Flyers are absolute ass cheeks here. So the Flyers had their -2 game winning streak snapped to 4-3 overtime loss to the Senators on Sunday. Rasmus Ristolainen is done for the year with an upper body injury, but they're a pretty healthy group. So, look, I can understand Sharps being on the other side. It worked for them last night with the Blackhawks, but I don't care. And also, I think that Columbus wins, and I think they win comfortably. And I'm not going to let last night's disaster on the Habs affect it. I also, Pete, I want the score here. I want to get paid out for these spots. So I took the -1 line last night. I got the money line at -115. I got the puck line at +210. Give me a -1 at +144. I'm going for scores on these spots. So, Pete, I am on the Blue Jackets. AM on the other side with the Flyers. What is your plan here?
Well, I didn't pick this one or bet it yet. I did take the over at 6, and now it's up to 6.5. When Philly was like, even money or -105, I was leaning Philly. Obviously now a 30-cent move in Columbus's favor, which makes sense. I mean, I know Columbus is mathematically alive, but it's just Philly's their last home game. The new coach, it just makes me nervous. But I do like the over, and I did take that one.
It's going to be fun. I am on the Blue Jackets to take care of business. Matthew Green says Cash Demidov anytime goal scorer and second goal scorer, then Celebrini first goal scorer last night. Matthew Green, that's incredible. Says Nuking Michkov first goal scorer, anytime goal, and 2+ tonight. Young Guns are hungry right now. I love it. All right, let's roll on to the next spot on the board because I did move on this as well, Peter. But this one took some time. This was something I bet this morning after sitting with it for a while. Florida Panthers at the Tampa Bay Lightning next up on the card. Panthers are 47-30-4, 20-18-2 on the road. Lightning 46-26-8, 28-8-4 at home at Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. Vitek Vanacek in net for Florida with nothing to play for. They finish off the regular season tonight, and there's nothing that can happen for them. They will be third. They will be traveling to either Tampa or Toronto, and most likely Tampa. Vasilevsky in between the pipes, 37-20-5, 2.20 goals against average, 921 save percentage, 6 shutouts. Florida, 23.9% power play, 80.8% penalty killing. Tampa Bay, 26.3% power play, 81.1% penalty killing. I did take Tampa on the -1 line here. They opened up at -170. They're now -182. When I got the -1 on them, it was -177 and +145. I got -113 on the -1 line. From a total standpoint here, we have a 5.5 at a pick'em. This opened up a -113 to the over, so we've had 7 cents of movement on this under here. And the Lightning can still win the Atlantic if they win their last 2 games and the Leafs lose their last 2 games in regulation. Unlikely, but they're going to fight for it. Florida had their 3-game winning streak snapped in a 5-3 loss at home versus Rangers last night. They're resting players down the stretch. It's unclear who will be rested tonight. Lightning snapped their 2-game losing streak with a 7-4 win at home over the Sabres on Sunday. Glendening and Oliver Bjorkstrand are both out for the rest of the regular season. Lightning hope they can both play in the playoffs. And Radish, their young defenseman's day-to-day with an undisclosed injury. I moved on to Lightning -1 here. Pete, what have you done?
Lightning -1, -113, and I'm an inch away from adding it to the Kristen parlay, making it like a +400 parlay. Yeah, as you said, Florida absolutely nothing to play for. Tampa Bay doesn't really have anything to play for, but technically they have something to play for, and they're at home. Florida's off the loss, and I don't think Florida's going to come and bring it.
Yeah, I'm with you. This was one that I moved on. CG on Tampa Bay team total over. Philly Eagle Flyer on the over, and we have Jermaine's action in as well, which I will copy and paste here right now as well. So let's roll on to the next spot on the board for us here, and that takes us to Capitals New York Islanders. Capitals 50, 21, and 9. 24, 12, and 3 on the road to the New York Islanders, who are 35, 33, and 12, 19, 16, 5 at home at UBS Arena in Elmont, New York. Charlie Lindgren is listed. Thompson does have an injury right now. 19, 14, and 3, 2.78 goals against average, 894 save percentage, one shot. He's just been bad. Sorokin is back from the injury. I didn't realize he was back. I had it live. It switched. I thought Sorokin was coming back, and then live it switched to Hogberg on my score app, and I thought, I guess Sorokin isn't coming in. It really bothered me because I would have been on the Islanders in that first game back, but I wasn't. A New York Islanders power play just 12.9%, penalty killing 72.2%. Washington comes in off back-to-back losses to the Blue Jackets. They were outscored 11-1 over the 2 games. This is their 3rd game in 4 nights. They're resting some players down the stretch. John Carlson was rested Sunday. Alexei Protas is dealing with a foot injury, but he's expected to be ready to go for the playoffs. Are they just going to get dummied here down the stretch? We got last one left in the house. What up, last one left? Are they just going to get dummied down the stretch? Like I find it hard to believe that they're comfortable going into the playoffs in that fashion. Soroka returned from injury, got the shutout. Islanders snapped their 3-game losing streak with a 1-0 win at the Devils on Sunday. Adam Pelech sustained an injury. He's the one who was the reason Paul Cotter got suspended. Took a high hit. So Pelech is done for the rest of the season. So Boqvist, Riley, or Perunovic will come in. They have a lot of depth defensively. So, look, I don't. Are the Capitals just going to lose out like schmucks here and think that they can just flip the switch?
I mean, that does happen though in the NHL. There was isn't there one team that like lost their last they were like lost 7 or last 10 games, something, like won the Stanley Cup or something? Wasn't it? Was it Colorado? Or I don't remember. But like these teams know that like if they're like the top team in the league and they lose 60 2/3 of their last 10 games or whatever, it doesn't really matter,
Yeah,
that's how they think.
Yeah, and I get it, but I mean, it felt like they were trying against the Jackets in the second game of the back. I mean, they got outscored 11-1 over those 2. So are you on the Islanders here then?
I was thinking over, but then again, you got Sorokin and Lindgren, so I guess. But I was thinking over. As far as a side, no, pass. But it's just, I mean, does Washington come to play? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know to the extent where I didn't bet it.
I would think not. If they're at home, maybe. On the road like this, I don't think so. Leaning Islanders, Jim.
Yeah, Limited Benefits says Isles' last home game think they can win. Let's go over the line history here on this one. I mean, I guess the Islanders and Boston should probably both be bet. Being a 6 cents of movement, -101 to -107 on the over. And then on the money line, we have the Islanders at -103. They opened up at -109. So the Caps have gone from -103 to -107. So there's been 4 cents of movement towards the Islanders, 6 cents away. 4 cents of movement to the Capitals and 6 cents away from the Islanders. Gorky in the house. Gorky, thank you for that so much, my man. We have Kachanov, Spartak, and Subotica money line. Perky in the house. What up, Perky? And AM saying, I agree with the over sentiment, but no interest in playing these throwaway games.
The thing is, though, that like when you're betting these teams like these, you want one that's got some kind of like life to them or character or something. Or that's not the Islanders. They might come in here and be like, we don't give a shit either.
It is that last. It's like last home game of the year, right? And then they have one more. Yeah, I don't. I feel very confident in the spots I've attacked. I'm very hesitant to add the Islanders or to add the Bruins. So Andrew G says Capitals earned some rest for a great season. I really don't want to add, but I'll put Islanders ? As I put with the Bruins, but I prefer not to add. Are you ready to roll on?
Yes, let's roll.
Next up for us, 8 p.m. Eastern, with the Utah Hockey Club, 38-13-3. Oh, sorry, you're opening up these spots. My bad.
Well, I should, just because. Yeah.
My bad. Sorry, I get so. I just started because I was solo there.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I mean, my previews here 8 seconds, and but I do hit on the main points that most people are looking at. Obviously this game, right? Utah, 2 big road wins, very, very nice. Who'd they beat? They beat Nashville in the last one, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I had Nashville in that one, but I also had the over cashed, and I had the first period over. So I made money on that one. Then St. Louis, we've been talking about them all year. 3 road losses. Now they're back home. This is their last home game, and they are not in the playoffs yet, and they need to get a win. So my only problem here, though, is that, I was just talking about how the Islanders are just like a lethargic team right now. Utah is the opposite of that. I wish St. Louis was minus 200 against the Islanders. Going up against Utah, even off of 2 big road wins, the big favorite here, makes me nervous. The Blues, I've talked about them before. A few weeks ago, they looked like a high character team to me. Now they're off a bunch of road losses. Now they're back home. I didn't bet this one. Lean St. Louis, obviously, but that one makes me nervous, and I don't think I'm going to be able to bet it.
Yeah, this one, clearly the Sharps are backing Utah here. That makes me nervous. The line is gone. Opened up at minus 170, and we've not seen it back there. It was just a constant. There was a couple times where it bought back towards the Blues, but now we have it down to minus 140. This last move was 10 minutes ago. So Utah's got young players that are playing hard, and I'm on the Blues on the minus 1 line, which makes me nervous. This under opened up minus 118 to the under. Now it's minus 119 with a 1 cent move towards the under. We have Vejmelka versus Binnington. Vejmelka, 26-21-8, 2.52 goals against average, 906 save percentage, 1 shutout. Binnington, 2.72 goals against average, 900 save percentage, 3 shutouts. Both power plays are strong. Utah's penalty killing was excellent this year, which surprised a lot of us. They're on the second half of back-to-back after securing their second straight win in 4th and 5 games, 7-3 at the Predators last night. They closed the regular season here. John Marino out with an upper body injury. He's the only player on the injury report. As AM suggested, after that 12-game winning streak, the Blues were going to lose multiple games, and they did exactly that. They've lost 3 straight since that 12-game winning streak. The loss to the Kraken on Sunday night in the shootout really hurt me. Really hurt me. They were swept on that 3-game road trip. Dylan Holloway out with a lower body injury. They hope he'll return to the playoffs if they get in, but they need to win here in regulation. Or have the Flames lose to clinch a playoff berth. And I expect them to win. I don't care how Utah's been playing. I don't like this line moving against me. It certainly doesn't give me a ton of confidence. But I think the Blues come back home and win. I think they come back home and win. I'm on them on the minus 1 line. I guess there's multiple things that happen when the line moves against you like this. One is, it's embarrassing. But secondly, I would have liked to have had a better line. But other than that, look, I'm on the Blues. They must win here, and I expect them to do that. So it is what it is. Steve G on the Blues alt line. Billy Freer says Blues have won 11 games in a row at home, 8 of those in regulation. I think they come back to the friendly confines of the Enterprise Center and take care of business here, and I'm betting them to do that. But again, I got a pretty shitty line, so too bad. And I wait. You know what? I bet this before it was even available offshore. So I got minus 170 on the money line and plus 150 on the puck line. I got a minus 108, which is atrocious. But, it is what it is. Peter, you moving on this?
No, but I did just notice about a 10 or maybe even 15-cent move in favor of Vegas over Calgary. We'll talk about that. That might just be people locking in. I don't know. And a move back towards L.A. over Seattle. We'll talk about it. Very interesting. No,
all right, so let's roll on to the next spot on the board. I guess I should have kept that up, but let's roll on. Set up the Ducks wild.
Yeah, here we go. Minnesota, obviously they need it. They can lock up a playoff spot here. They need to earn at least 1 point, right? They got their guys back. They got some youngsters they're bringing up who are good. Anaheim, their last 2 games, both on the road. We know that Anaheim is like a crappy team, but they got some youngsters who are trying. You got a huge line here. And I don't know. Minnesota, of course, has had troubles at home this year, but that was that's a different situation than this game. Makes me nervous, Jim. I didn't bet Anaheim yet, and if I don't, I'll be rooting hard for Minnesota. This one makes me nervous, Jim.
Yeah, it doesn't make me nervous at all. And the reasoning here is there's a few things going on in this hockey. First off, the Ducks coach is extremely hard on them. Extremely hard on them. And he, coached for 25 years in college, which would have, so the thought process was, this guy's worked with kids for so long. Nobody had any expectation that he would be this hard on Carlson, the 2nd overall pick, McTavish, the 3rd overall pick, Zegras, the 9th overall pick. And it's the story from NHLers and and from ex-NHLers too, is that they don't want to come to the rink. And so now they have the worst power play in the National Hockey League. How is that possible with all that talent? There's things that haven't been working for the Ducks, and I think Cronin is. I'm not going to weigh in on whether Cronin's tactics succeed, but what I know is that near the end of the season, when there's nothing on the line, these kids just want to get the fuck out of here. They want to get away from Cronin. So
I did take Anaheim in their loss against Colorado. I took a loss there.
I took a loss there too.
But before their last 2 games, they were a live team. I was usually either betting them or their team total overs.
I'm high on the Ducks. Here. But another thing here is, of course, the Wild need 1 point to clinch a berth in the playoffs. They're coming off their 3rd win in 4 games, 3-2 in overtime at the Canucks on Saturday. They also have Zeev Buim making his debut here. First round pick. He was 12th overall by the Wild in 2024 draft. His freshman year was unbelievable. This is his 2nd year right now, but his freshman year was like ridiculous. A freshman defenseman. Now, obviously, we're seeing the Hudsons and we're seeing these phenomenal, Quinn Hughes came out of college hockey. We're seeing these incredible young defensemen in college hockey, and Buim's one of them. He had 50 points, 11 goals, 39 assists in 42 games as the 2nd youngest player in college hockey 2 years ago. He led the defenseman in scoring, was 3rd in all of college hockey in assists, was a plus 33, and Denver wins the NCAA championship. And then this past year, as a sophomore, he's finalist for the Hobie Baker Award, first team All-American, National Collegiate Hockey Conference Player of the Year, off these NCHC, which is, same thing, National Collegiate Hockey Conference, Offensive Defenseman of the Year. He was one of only 2 players to be unanimous selection to the All National College Hockey Conference first team. And, they make their 3rd straight NCAA tournament championship final. They lose to Western Michigan. And in that game, Buim played 51 minutes and 41 seconds. And they're having fun with him. He's so excited to be here. It's important to get young stars to come into the room to give the team a spark. Not only that, but Spurgeon and Middleton are supposed to both be back for this game. This is all hands on deck to get into the playoff. They need 1 point. They come in off their 3rd win in 4 games. I like the spot for them. Anaheim comes in off their 2nd straight loss, 4-2 at home to the Avalanche on Sunday. And this is the first of a back-to-back. They close the season tomorrow night at Winnipeg. Gibson's day-to-day with a lower body injury. Fabry, Johnson, and Brock McGinn are all done for the season. But all the young players are healthy. And I think they're pretty excited about Cancun. So it took me a while. I was using just the Wild in a parlay, Pete, until I decided, no, I'm going to take them on the puck line too. I think they play a playoff type hockey game, and they're more than capable of shutting down their opponents here. This total is not moved. Juiced to the under 6, just still juiced to the under 6. On the money line, Minnesota is minus 259. It's been bouncing all over the place. Opened up at 259, went down to 241, back at 259 right now. And I can understand there's some concern or nervous energy about it all. It doesn't worry me. I'm on the Minnesota Wild here, Pete. I'm just going to be copying and pasting action here from Cappers in the chat because we had the opening about Matty Randall and obviously took over our thoughts. So are you going to be, after that breakdown, Pete, how do you feel about your lean towards the Ducks in it? And
I mean, my lean towards the Ducks, you know what it is, Jimmy the Bag. It's like you got a team that seemed to have some kind of approximation of high character going up against a team where the pressure's on them. Historically, they haven't been been good at home this year, and you got a minus 300 line. So I'm like, all right, that's my lean. That's the same reason that I was leaning Chicago, I took Chicago the other day. Nothing deeper than that. Now I'm thinking, though, maybe the Minnesota team total over might be good. Is there any way that like Minnesota gets up like 2-0 or 3-1 and then they just skate it out? No more goals?
Well, I do think they play a playoff type hockey game, so I think they shut the Ducks down.
Okay. I'm gonna search for it. I'm gonna take a Minnesota race to 2 or race to 3. That's the play, Jimmy the Bag. I'm gonna do it.
We also had dropping dimes, Basketball Champions League, Nymburk at Galatasaray under 176.5 from our guy dropping dimes here. So I think I've got everything I needed to be copied and pasted. So here, the Wild, AM asking if the Wild need this game. They don't if Calgary loses. But they need 1 point to make the playoffs.
The Calgary game's also after.
That's right.
So they won't know.
That's right.
So there's no chance of like shenanigans with the game result changing the situation, right?
So what did you move on here, Pete?
I'm gonna take either a race to 2 or race to 3 for Minnesota, and I'm gonna look around and I'll quote the line to you in a bit.
Well, let's set up the aforementioned Golden Knights Calgary Flames.
You know, Vegas, they're locked into their spot. 2 more road games, right? You also, in general, we're talking about Vegas maybe a little bit overvalued, overrated a little bit. Calgary, a team that has impressed me this year in spots as a high character team. And this is their last home game. Calgary is also still in the playoff hunt. And, Calgary's at home, Vegas on the road. Calgary is a high caliber, character team, in my opinion. Not as high as St. Louis at their character peak this year, but in general, a nice high character team, in my opinion. Vegas locked into their spot. So I like the over, and I liked Calgary. I took it when it first came out, and then it moved to Calgary being like, I think I saw minus 105 or something.
Minus 115.
Just about 5 minutes ago, I think I saw like a 15-cent move in favor of Vegas. Don't understand.
You did see that. Very, very, very interesting. So I bet this at plus 115 before it was available offshore. I bet it at 365 plus 115. This becomes available at 10:27 p.m. at minus 106 either side.
Oh, really? That was okay. Yeah, I got it at plus 116.
116?
Yeah. When I bet it.
No, that's great. But this is from the book that I think is the sharpest that we usually use for our line shopping purposes. So they opened this up at 10:27 p.m. minus 106. Then it got up to minus 111 by 9:23 a.m. And then Pete's absolutely right. We've had a move in the last 15 or 20 minutes. This was minus 101 22 minutes ago, and it's now plus 111. So that's interesting. And will certainly take some of the confidence away. The total here is a 5.5. It's minus 107 to the over. It opened up minus 119 to the over. So we've had a pretty legitimate move to the under 5.5 here in this one. Very interested to hear the cappers in the chat, what their plan is here in this one. Nate Dogg on Kadri to score, leaning draw. Billy Friedrich on Calgary here. So we have Aiden Hill going up against Dustin Wolf. The Knights coming off their second straight win in 4th and 5 games, 5-3 at home versus the Predators on Saturday. They've clinched the Pacific Division and have nothing to play for. It's clinched. It's done. Nothing to play for. The Dustin Wolf in the other net, 28, 16, 8, 2.62 goals against average, 9-10 save percentage, 3 shutouts, going for Rookie of the Year. And he shouldn't get it. Hudson should get it. Aiden Hill, 32, 13, and 5, 2.47 goals against average, 906 save percentage, 4 shutouts. He's been better since he watched Binnington in the Four Nations. Vegas, 29.1% power play, 76.5% penalty killing. Calgary, 20.5% power play, 76% penalty killing. So Jack Eichel and Alex Pietrangelo will be out for the rest of the regular season. And then that kind of limits them from resting players. The Flames coming off their second straight win, 3rd and 4 games, 5-2 at home versus the Sharks on Sunday. They close the regular season at the Kings on Thursday. So they must win out in regulation and hope the Blues don't win tonight in regulation or that the Wild lose to the Ducks in regulation. Connor Zary remains out with a knee injury. Look, I didn't believe in this Flames squad, and they played above expectations. This Flames team showed a ton of character all year. And here is their playoff game. It's tonight at the Saddle Dome. It's going to be, of course, sold out. It's going to be buzzing. They have the Golden Knights who aren't trying, the winners of the division. This is the perfect time for Calgary to show their character and deliver here. I'm astonished that the line's gone against me over the last 20 minutes. It has. That makes me nervous. Sean Pulley, I'm thinking of the Vegas team total under. I just think there's more risk reward, Sean, with the Calgary Flames money line. You're back to getting a plus number. Barry Smith in the house. Got to keep an eye on his NHL action, Pete. He's very good. He says Flames 4-2 final score. When I'm on the other side, when I'm against Barry Smith, my ROI is horrific. So I'm very thankful here. Okay, Ricky. Okay, so we'll get that in tonight, Ricky. I'll copy and paste this. We'll get you set up so you can get your picks in tonight. Thank you for letting me know, my man. So we'll make sure that everything's set up for people tonight and the winners of the contests and all that. So I'll get you set up, Ricky. So look, I'm on the Flames here. I've also used them in a parlay, and I don't know what to say, Pete, with these lines going against me when I thought they'd be so heavy for me, other than it's a concern. But I'm going to go full force into the game expecting a win. Is there anything you want to add to it?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Calgary here, and I think I'm gonna double up with a team total, probably the Calgary team total over. And with the Minnesota game, I probably am getting a shitty line here. This is a Caesars line, but race to 3 minus 180. Minnesota race to 3 minus 180. And yeah, the Calgary game. Yeah, again, you're getting a dog line here. So something that you have. So if you were totally on the wrong side of this, all right, you lose a plus 114 dog. That's a weird line. Why would it go back? That could be manipulation. I don't know.
It's very
maybe
it's rattling.
Someone's doing something.
AM, another capper that must be watched with his NHL action, is only bet as Flyers money line today. Well, let's roll into this final spot on the board before we engage in Major League Baseball. Peter, Kings Kraken. Do you want to set it up?
Kings Kraken. Is this the last game on the card? Oh, that sucks. It's so much fun to do. All right, Kraken. Seattle's off a back-to-back shutout win at Edmonton. Now this one, but I think I saw a less big line move, but about a 10-cent move recently back in LA's favor. LA's off a shutout win at Edmonton, right? Edmonton, for those who don't know, even I didn't know until, but yeah, the big rivalry between LA and Edmonton, right? They've eliminated them in the playoffs. LA got the home ice advantage with that win, shutout win. It was a physical game, big win against a rival. They got one more home game after this. They're locked into their they clinched home ice advantage in the opening round, which is what they wanted to do. And this is Seattle's last game, so Seattle and over, liking it.
So the Kings Oilers rivalry is one way. The Oilers don't care about the Kings. Oilers fans don't care about
but the Kings have gotten eliminated in the playoffs every year, right?
But that's just the Kings have a rival. The Kings think there's a rivalry with the Oilers. That's all great. The Kings can play whatever they want. The Oilers don't care. The Oilers are sure that they're going to go into LA and beat them in this series, and there's no concern. Now, without Matthias Ekholm in the first round, there might be some concern. And if Wallman's, there's a lot of mystery around Wallman's injury. I mean, if there's no Ekholm and Wallman in game one, I think you have to bet the Kings in game one of the playoffs here, or bet the Kings to win game one and possibly Kings win game one and possibly Oilers win series, something fun like that. That will be non-correlated. So Perky looking at the Kraken Phillies money line parlay. Let's talk about this spot here, Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle, Washington. We have David Riddick going up against Joey Decord. The Kings put all their effort into that win. They beat Edmonton 5-0 in Edmonton, clinched second in the Pacific. Byfield got hurt during the game. We're not sure the extent of it, but he's crucial in the playoffs. As phenomenal as he looks at times, he still makes some dumb penalties. He's tough to watch at times. Tanner, Jeannot, Joel Edmondson are all dealing here with injuries. Kraken snapped their 2-game losing streak with a 4-3 shootout victory at home over the Blues on Saturday night. Their season ends here tonight, and they're completely healthy. This is probably the best bet on the board that I didn't quite realize for whatever reason. It was just so late, and then my man Jarek White in the house. What up, Jarek? I didn't even realize it until too late, but let's see this line move back. I just don't see why the Kings care at all. At all. This total is a 5.10 or 5.5 minus 110. There's been a 2-cent move to the over. And then on the money line, I was late to the party, and it was ridiculous. Like, this is the exact same thing that happened in the Calgary game has happened here. We were at minus 111. We were at minus 116 at 11:09 a.m. And then at 11:44 a.m. it was plus 108. It's now plus 106. You think? I mean, this is just.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, who knows what, but is going on. But there's all kinds of manipulation and shit going on. Spanky, all those fuckers manipulating shit.
I moved on the Kraken, and again, I want to get paid out on these spots, so I moved on them on the -1 line. I got a terrible line. I got minus 115 on the money line. I got plus 230 on the puck line, gave me a plus 154. But I just don't look. I'm not going to let this mess with me here. This makes no sense to me. None, zero. So I'm just going to stick to the plan, and that's that, Pete.
Okay. Well, do you want me to go over everything that I've got here, Jimmy the Bag, with all my odds and everything?
But also here, very interesting, Bouillon is not expected to be in the lineup tonight, which is a shock. That means a couple things. That means that both Spurgeon and Middleton are in, and they are putting everything into this game. I'm surprised, very surprised here. So I guess Bouillon's not going to play game 1 of the playoffs either. That's very interesting, Billy. I'm surprised to hear that. But yes, let's review all action here. And Billy saying yes, Spurgeon, Middleton both play. Let's review all action here. Pete, you go first, and I'll close it up.
Okay. All right. We'll see how it all goes. But here we go. Bruins money line plus 121. Toronto Buffalo under 6.5 minus 113. That makes me nervous. I realized I liked over 6 on the overnight, but all right, I'm taking it. Tampa Bay -1 minus 113. Minnesota Wild race to 3 minus 180. I could probably shop around and get better, but race to 3 minus 180. Calgary money line plus 111. Calgary team total over 2.5 minus 135. Seattle money line plus 100, and Seattle team total over 2.5 minus 135.
So the only additions which I don't want to be involved in would be, the Bruins and the Islanders. I don't want to be involved in those two spots, and I'm just not going to bet them now. I'd like to say that, but I do have the question marks around them. I've made 7 bets on this card here, and you know what? When I'm extremely confident, it's not gone well. I've had NHL cards where I've been so confident in them, and it's funny. It's the opposite in NBA. Mm-hmm. I'll see a card and I'll look at it and it'll be, a lot. Generally it's dogs, and I'm like, oh God, I think this is going to be a casher, and then it usually is. Here, I'm now quite uncomfortable with the market and talking these spots out loud and expecting, the most honest sport that we get to bet on to comply. But I'm on the Flames -1 at plus 187. I'm on the Blues -1 at minus 108. I have a Blues Wild Flames moneyline parlay. Blues Wild Flames at plus 367. Then I have the Blue Jackets -1 at plus 144. Lightning -1 at minus 113. Kraken -1 at plus 154. And Wild on the puck line at plus 104. So that means the only line that hasn't basically gone against me since we've started this show. No, they've all. Because even Columbus has gone back against me. That's messed up. And maybe I can kind of refigure that to being a good one.
I mean, we're also like 7 hours away from the game time. So, who knows what's going to happen.
And AM says the best bets are the ones that feel disgusting to play. I agree with that. But I just murked this time of year, and I haven't. The last 3 or 4 days have been a disaster. So I'm just, after talking it all through, I'm not any more confident. And I told you guys, these are all 1.5. That's even the parlay. So,
Jim, I'm not that worried about the Seattle move or whatever, but the Calgary move is weird.
The Calgary move is weird. There's our guy, Guillermo Zertucci, in the house. We were celebrating how he will be a grandfather once again. Yes, I'll pop the parlay, but we are celebrating Elijah Zertucci. What a great dad Eli's going to be because, he gets to look up to his father all year. I'll pop it here in the chat was the parlay. Now, the parlay didn't include the Kraken. Philly Eagles parlays Lightning Blues Wild. I don't know what to I at this point that's it for me. So look, I'm not going to say I'll sweat it out myself tonight, but maybe these market lines going against me makes me a little bit more confident. Yeah. So Pete, are you
weird wacky shit. Now Seattle plus 108. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
All right, let's roll into Major League Baseball. Big Scott also on the Blue Jackets -1, and also to make us feel a little more comfortable here, the spreadsheet play of the day in the National Hockey League from our Ron Crawford is the Seattle Kraken. All right, it is time to get into Major League Baseball, Peter. JW says, doesn't Utah own the Blues? Look, it does not concern me in the slightest, JW. For me, they're not a rivalry. They're trying to create one, sure. But it's just, Utah in their first year over there. I mean, it's just that, like Monty would have any fear of Utah. So maybe they do, maybe they don't. That doesn't concern me, JW. Now the market moving against the Blues, moving against all these spots does concern me. So, it is what it is, JW. Okay, Peter Loshak, you went 3-0 in Major League Baseball here last week. It was important. It was very important.
Yeah. These fucking public records. Jesus.
Yeah. The losing the Habs last night hurt so much because I was so confident and I got so many of my friends on the spot. It's one thing to lose your own money alone in the dark, but when you're losing your friends' cash, that stings, man. That stung last night. Stung.
I actually last week Baseball 4-0 because Corbin didn't throw a no-hitter. That was the most important one last week. Thank the Lord that one won as well.
That's true. Are you ready to get to work?
Yes.
Okay, well, why don't you, if you don't mind, because I got to cut all this style, the hockey from my computer and bring up all the baseball. Do you want to get rolling here? Can you set up Diamondbacks, Marlins, and I'll come in, and the rest of the time?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay. Arizona, Miami. Arizona, of course, pretty damn good overall. That's a quality team. Miami, not a team I feel comfortable fading as a big home dog. They're off an 11-run win. And then you got Kelly against Gillespie, who Kelly, first two starts were awful. His last one was better. Miami starter is settling down a bit. So this one, I'm going to maybe look into it a little bit further, closer to game time, to see what to expect from Kelly. And the other guy, I would be leaning Miami as a big home dog here against Arizona. We'll see where the line has moved. Don't feel comfortable fading Arizona. Definitely don't feel comfortable taking Miami off of that 11-run win. And Kelly, his last start was a lot better. So I'd want to look into some of the analytics to see how much of that was due to variance, how much of that was due to fundamentals. Haven't had the time to do that yet. So this is going to be a pass for me. No real lean on the total either. If you gave me a free play, just handed it to me right now, I'd chuck it on Miami as a pretty sizable home dog, Jim.
Well, let's set this up a little more, and we are shortly going to introduce or welcome to the show young Snips Bouquett. But let me just set this up here for me. We imagine that the expectation is that Lone Depot Park's roof will be closed. Again, I don't have that information. It's tricky. I find it tricky to get it here. AM says the over 8.5 is free. free. Oldie says Marlins team total over until the wheels fall off. We have Merrill Kelly going up against Connor Gillespie. Merrill Kelly 2-1, 7.20 ERA, 1.60 WHIP. He only has 7 strikeouts through 15 innings and 9 walks. Not the K to walk ratio you're hoping for, but as Pete said, he had an improved start. Now Pete still cashed the first 5 over 4.5. But he did have an improved start. 6 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which were earned. No homers, 4 Ks, 2 walks, and a 4-3 win at home versus the Orioles. Gillespie, 0-1, 3.86 ERA, 1.14 WHIP, 14 innings, 12 Ks, 5 walks, 2 jacks. He allowed 2 earned runs over 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 homer, 2 Ks, 1 walk, and 10-5 loss at the Mets. The Diamondbacks are ripping the leather off the ball. 269, 851 OPS. The Marlins versus righties are hitting 244, 681 OPS versus righties. I don't expect that, to last come 3 or 4 months from now. Diamondbacks bullpen 3.29 ERA, 0.84 WHIP, being very good. And the Marlins bullpen has been good every time I'm not betting on them. 4.50 ERA, 1.48 WHIP. Let's get into the line history here for this spot. At this point, Merrill Kelly is sitting right now at minus 150. Minus 150. Open up at minus 160. So we've had 10 cents away from Arizona, a tightening of VIG, so only a 6 cents of movement towards the Marlins. When we get to the total here for this one, we have a 9 minus 108 to the over. This opened up at 8.5, so we've had a half run move towards the over. And Barry Smith on the Marlins plus 1.5, coin on the over 9. TJ says Miami 7-3 to the over at home. Don't expect that to last. The totals were crushed versus Washington. Yes, Chang. Absolutely. Best bets from us at the end of the show. Absolutely, Chang.
And this one, Chang, pay attention to, because we feel pretty good about today's card in general, the NHL
yes.
card.
But we owe Chang, man. Chang's rocked with us lots, and I don't know if we've delivered enough here for him. So I got that copied and pasted. Ronnie Lofton knows the Diamondbacks team inside and out. Carroll over 1.5 bases plus 105. Naylor over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs minus 115 until the wheels fall off. They have been money. And there is our guy Spooner. Hit the Bobby Witt Juan Soto home run parlay yesterday with DraftKings. Free home run bet promo gives you $10 a day with a free bet back if you lose. Bellinger and Carpenter home run parlay today here. Well, let's bring on our star of MLB programming here on Pub Sports Radio, star of Say Hey Plays, which got into business here this past week, and we're happy to have. So please, without further ado, please welcome. Okay, we got some issues backstage. Let me give it a second. Wait till we get the. Okay, I don't know if he. Okay, we got the thumbs up. Please welcome from our studio in San Antonio, Texas, inside the Southtown 101, the best bar in Texas. Please welcome our friend Jose Snips Bouquett to the telecast. Jose, how are you?
Jimmy, I'm doing all right. I took it in the chin last night, got some dribble underneath it. It was not fun, but ready to attack today's card. Should be a good one.
Well, we have set up Diamondbacks, Marlins. Got a lot of interest from cappers here in the chat. There's our guy Markel in the house. Markel, it was so great to see you on Say Hey Plays on Saturday. That was dope, man. We need more Markel on the channel. Shout out to our guy Markel. TJ says Kelly's so bad right now. 10% K rate, 13% walk rate, 7.64 Sierra, 6.19 X Sierra. All the metrics are down. Looks injured. Take it away for us here, Jose. Do you have a plan for Diamondbacks Marlins?
I do not. I'm refreshing all my stuff now as well here to make sure that we're all locked in and ready to go here. But I did not. Shout out to you, Pete. We talked about motherfucker. Dropped my pen. We talked about Kelly last time, and we talked about him with Morton. And you talked about. I said that Morton looked more vulnerable, and you said Kelly, his strikeout numbers. He got touched. Shout out to you. So I'm off here. You guys all talk about how Kelly kind of just looking riggedy. He's a free agent next year, and he's an old man. So I'm a little worried about all this stuff. Maybe he'll pitch himself back into form here at some point, but not at a minus 160 price. I'd rather have the Marlins, but I don't want to bet the Marlins here. And by the way, Diamondbacks, 80% of the money, 86% of the bets on them here, and I'm seeing the line go from minus 160 coming down to minus 150ish. So
yeah,
I'd lean Marlins, but ultimately not enough for me to move on them.
And what about the over?
You mentioned it as well here, and I just mentioned the markets here for my sake here. 8.5 is what I had it at. Goes over, or should I say, goes up to the 9 here, Jimmy. If I'm correct there.
Yeah.
96 and 97. I mean, I lean towards it, and I if I was going to bet it, I'd just probably end up taking the team total over of the Marlins. I forgot who. I think it was Oldie saying that he's betting it repeatedly. I'd rather just pick on a vulnerable, perhaps Kelly here. And Connor Gillespie, I tabbed as a guy that I was semi-interested in this year. So, but I'd rather just take a team total over instead of full game over.
All right, so Pete, nothing for you officially to get this card started. All right. I don't know if I get involved here. I understand that these overs are taking care of business. TJ says after it moved to 9 with TJ's been talking about odds logic, Pete, and we were talking about the concerns of us, trusting the Action Network on the totals and. Do you know of odds logic, Pete? And do you have a sense of the difference between the action numbers and odds logic?
I don't follow bet percentages and stuff like that too much. I do follow line moves and limit changes, but the bet percentages I don't really follow that much. And I certainly couldn't tell you which is more reliable.
We have Jeff Slaughter in the house. Red Sox money line parlay for him. Coins numbers are from odds logic as well. Coin says 58% tickets, 88% of cash on Miami under, and yet the total goes up from 8.5 to 9.
By the way, Jimmy, can we do our anthem reset here?
Absolutely.
Yes, Pete. You don't know what's about to happen, so just sit back, enjoy it. We're about to hit a reset here. Shout out to all you guys that have been watching throughout the whole show here. We're going to go live on Anthem TV. You should go download Anthem TV, a TV app. For those of you who don't know, you can watch movies, other shows. They're building their library of content on there. We're partners with them now. So go check us out there as well. But we're about to hit a little reset for our friends at Anthem. So we'll be back here in about 20 seconds.
The opinions expressed of this show are for entertainment purposes and should not be misconstrued or interpreted as fact. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
All right. Welcome into Pub Sports Radio. Peter Loshak, Jimmy the Bag here on Loshak and the Bag on Anthem TV. Live now. We're just talking about Arizona Diamondbacks, Miami Marlins, breaking down the rest of the MLB card. Gentlemen, take it away.
Well, let's roll past. Nothing was made official in Game 1, Arizona, Miami. Let's roll into Game 2 on this big, juicy MLB slate. And thank you to all watching us on Anthem TV. Seattle Mariners 8-8, 0-3 on the road at the Cincinnati Reds. Also 8-8, 5-4 at home. Home being Great America Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. Let's take a look at the weather there. 53 Fahrenheit, feels like 41. 14.3 miles per hour out to left center. And it dies down with each passing hour. It gets down to 9.8 after 2 hours. It's 8 miles per hour after 3 hours. So it does die down, and it is chilly, but we know it's an offensive ballpark. We have Luis Castillo going up against Nick Lodolo here. Perky saying Lodolo a stud. I love plus money on Cincinnati. For me, the angle is this, and Jose knows what's coming. Luis Castillo has been excellent this year, but all 3 starts have come at home. He was in his groove. He was in his comfort zone. Now we take him out of that comfort zone, which is a situation that I would like to fade. His last start, 2-1 extra inning loss at home to the Astros. He went 5 innings, 5 hits, 6 Ks, and 2 walks. He's thrown 17 innings this year with 15 strikeouts, 6 walks, and 2 homers. Nick Lodolo has been spectacular this year, and the Mariners are hitting just 188 with a 577 OPS against lefties. Lodolo 2-1, 0.96 ERA, 0.70 WHIP. Just 8 Ks through 18 2/3, but he's walked 1 batter. Only 1 batter's gone yard. Coming off a 1-0 win at the Giants, who went 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 3 Ks, 1 walk. The Reds aren't hitting either. 225, 634 OPS. Both bullpens have been very good. They've been very, very good. Spooner says, does it matter to you that this is the old home where he's pitched more games than any other park? I thought about that too. I just think we take him out of his comfort zone. But I think you make a good point, Spoon, that should be mentioned. It's a good point. The Reds are hitting just 225, 634 OPS versus righties. Mariners bullpen 3.05 ERA, 1.34 whip being very good. And Reds bullpen 3.23 ERA, 1.01 whip of also being very good. Let's go over the line history here for this one. First off, this totals in the 8.5, and it's minus 115 to the over. This opened up at 8.5, and it got up. Now, when this line came out at noon, I'm telling you the line that came out at 4:55 p.m., it wasn't 8. But at 5 p.m., it was an 8.5. It was juiced to the under, and it immediately became juiced to the over. Within 1 hour, there was 16 cents of movement towards the over. In the first hour, it was available here offshore. That total going over minus 118 was the highest until about midnight. Midnight, it snuck into the 9 range. Now, that was plus money to the over. Then around 4 a.m., it was just minus 102 to the over. That over 9. We got back to 8.5 at 8:30, and it stayed there until now. So overall, we have 13 cents of movement to the over, but we did have buyback from that number 9. So that's where we find ourselves on the money line. It's a pick 'em basically. We have the Reds opening up at plus 105. Now they're minus 105. So we've had a 10-cent move towards the Reds. AM is on the under 8.5, so would play the under at 7.5. Philly Eagle Flyer on the Reds money line. And Professor Chris says off this game, model shows Mariners money line almost minus 121 and Reds plus 121. So let's take a look at the cash flow again. This is from the Action Network. There's a lot of talk about us doing something different as we move forward. And I'm interested in doing something different. 56% of the tickets, 78% of the cash is on the Reds. 90% of the tickets, 87% of cash, if we are to believe this, is on the over. Jose Bouquet, your plan of attack.
Yeah, it's Reds for me here as well. I like Lodolo. By the way, this is Luis Castillo's first start against the Reds. There's your fun fact of the day here. First start against his old team. A little surprised at this line here. And it's funny. I have this on screen at minus 120. I use the odds at BetMGM to make the screen graphics, but even at where we used to play poker at 8:30 this morning, it was minus 118, and it just plummeted and flipped to minus 108 Cincinnati, then minus 105 each way here. Very interesting heritage here. We're kind of showing an interesting sample here. They started out minus 114 Reds, now minus 105 each way here. So I like the Reds. I think they win this game outright.
Have you moved on them?
I'm going to while Pete speaks about this.
Pete, please speak.
Yeah, I would be leaning Cincinnati, although I agree that the line is a little bit fishy. And my question, Jose Bouquet, you probably don't know this, but Lodolo pitching great, but his strikeouts are down. Did he change up his pitch arsenal? He probably did. Didn't he?
Give me 2 seconds. I can look that up for you.
While you're looking that up, a couple things. First off, big shout out to Old E, gifting 5 Pub Sports Radio memberships. What a guy, supporting the channel. We are thankful to rock with you guys. Old E, we're so thankful to rock with you, man. The Air Breather, JW, Gabriel Bowlers, Crime Scene Photo, and Rue Rizza getting the gifts. Thank you, Old E. It means a ton to us. We've also heard from Jeff Slaughter. He guarantees Red Sox money line parlay, or Jose shaves his eyebrows. Usually you need that person who's going to shave the eyebrows to be a part of this, but looks like the boss has spoken. So those are big game for us, Jose. Huge game for us.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm being honest, I do like both of those teams as well. This is me and Jeff didn't talk about this, obviously, but I do like both of those teams. Minus 104 for me, by the way, Cincinnati Reds.
TJ says Lodolo has elite control so far. 1 walk and 18 2/3, only 4.9% barrel rate against, and very low 24% hard hit rate. Robert Franklin says, how many lefties are hitting for Cincinnati? Let's pull that up for you right now. Now, of course, they can alter this lineup, but what we know is we have Friedel, De La Cruz, of course, is a switch, Gavin Lux, and Jake Fraley. So we know that that is Encarnacion Strand. Click on him. Is he? Do we have? Oh, he's hurt right now. Anyways, so I don't think it will matter if he's in the lineup. Or we'll see if he's in the line, dealing with a back injury. Jose, do you have the answer to Peter's question?
Kind of. Petey's not really changed anything. Last year and this year he's thrown fastball, sinker, changeup, curveball here, but he's just throwing his fastball a little more, I guess. It's 4 pitches. He uses them all pretty consistently, maybe using his changeup a little more. He uses it at 23% rate so far this year. Last year it was at a 16% rate. So maybe that, but no, it's not really been much of a difference.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but I will take it, Jimmy the Bag. Lodolo, over 5.5 strikeouts, -103. I might be able to find a better line somewhere else, but we'll start with that. Lodolo, over 5.5 Ks, -103.
I like how you say that, Pete.
Yeah, I say that when I feel uncomfortable, but I'll do it. I mean, strikeouts are obvious. He's pitching great, but not getting Ks. So
I'm with you guys. I think this all makes sense. Jermaine says Seattle hits lefties on the road. I think that with 3 road games under their belt, that the sample size is just not enough.
I'll mention here real quick, piggybacking off of that, 75 weighted runs created plus for Seattle, 184 plate appearances. That's full season so far. Versus left-handed pitchers on the road, it's only 34 plate appearances. Obviously, 147 weighted runs created plus is great, but I'm not going to take 34 plate appearances and extrapolate that when we have a bigger sample of 184 and it's 75 weighted runs created plus.
Yeah, I agree. Gerardo Hernandez, his Reds are favorites at -111. They are now. Gerardo, they are now.
Yeah, I just bet him at -104, so that line's going to keep moving. I would love if there was more money and bets on the Mariners here. I really would, just so people could get a little romantic about Luis Castillo coming back. But here we are, betting a home dog that I have on my note here. It's specifically, I guess, short division dogs I should not bet either, but I have a note that says don't bet home dogs. So here we are.
Spooner says they play in the bottom 5 offensive park. This is a top 5 offensive park. Fair to expect better offensive numbers for Seattle bats. Yeah, I agree. It's fair to expect that. I think that we ride Lodolo right now. If we're riding Lodolo, we expect Castillo to have comfort in this stadium. We have cold weather, so the ball's not going to be,
this
bouncing off the
screams
bat.
under to me as well.
And so how do you feel about it jumping up to 9 and coming back and jumping up 9? Like me, I don't feel quite that comfortable with the market. Do you?
No, I'm not moving on it, but this game screams under to me. Both teams suck against their opposite hand, righties and lefties. I mean, again, the Mariners, like Spoon said, playing in an offensive repressing park, but I still think Lodolo is good enough to shut them down. And
shout out to our guy, Just My 2 Cents, star of the Locker Room Talk podcast here on our channel. $1.99 dono, blessing our action. Thank you, Just My 2 Cents. JW says, I'll take the Mariners for you, Jose. And TJ says, blowing out hard. It does die down every hour, by about 2.5 miles per hour. But yes, it is blowing out hard at first.
The fact that this is an 8.5 at Great American, I think, tells a story. Personally,
well, we've heard Troy talk about the totals under 9 at Great American Ballpark, how they go under at an alarmingly high rate.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. If there's an under at this very offensive, or I should say 8.5, 9, like Troy said, at this very offensive friendly ballpark, it seems like they're telling you something. But we'll see. I'm excited to watch.
Yes, and I would like to join you guys on the Reds, and I will make that bet here shortly. And I do have some interest in the under, but I don't think I get there. Let's roll on. Next up for us, 6:40 p.m. Eastern, the Washington Nationals 6-10, 1-6 on the road at Pittsburgh Pirates 6-11, 4-3 at home. We're at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Let's touch on the weather in Pittsburgh. It is breezy, very breezy, and possible drizzle, but very breezy. 47 Fahrenheit, feels like 33. It's cold. 18.8 miles per hour out to straightaway center. 18.8. Does it die down a tiny bit? Gets down to 14.3 after a couple hours. Gets down to 16.1 after an hour. Let's get into the line history here for this one. Irvin versus Helen, Mitch Keller. Hear no evil. This total opened up at 8, minus 109 to the under. Now it's at 8.5, minus 102 to the over. So we have a move towards the over. There she is. Oh, her beauty. Leading by example. Changing the world. From a money line standpoint, we have the Pirates at minus 129. They opened up at minus 122. They got up to minus 141 at 4 a.m. And now they've come back. Minus 129 is the number. Two pitchers we know very well, and we talk about a lot. Jake Irvin and Helen Mitch Keller. Jake Irvin, last start, 6-5 loss at home versus the Dodgers. He went full 6, or not full, but he went 6. 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 homer, 7 Ks, 3 walks. Against the Dodgers, it's not bad. He has a 1.50 whip, 12 Ks, 6 walks, or 16 innings. Has been taken yard 4 times. Mitch Keller, 101, 4.24 ERA, 1.35 whip. This is the wheelhouse for me. 3rd straight home start. I love that spot. Helen's first start at home was horrific, and then last start was spectacular. 7 in the 3rd, 4 hits, 6 Ks, 1 walk, and 2-1 extra inning win at home versus the Cardinals. Nationals are hitting righties, 232 with a 706 OPS, not bad. The Pirates are not. 199 with a 597 OPS. The Nationals bullpen is a travesty. 6.91 ERA, 1.92 whip. They've been horrific. Pirates bullpen's been pretty good. 3.43 ERA, 1.29 whip. And Slow Jam says she was following Skeens with gems of her own last year. It's beautifully put. Beautifully put,
Yeah.
Slow Jam.
It was beautifully put. What couldn't you say it better myself?
Take it away. Take it away, Jose. Nats, Pirates, Jake Irvin versus Helen Mitch Keller.
Yeah, I'm off. I think this line's a little inflated to the Pirates, if I'm being honest. I'd be semi-interested in a Nationals plus 120. I like both pitchers, though. And something I've noticed recently, if I like both pitchers, I should just not bet the game or take the under, because if I try to pick one of the two, typically it's gone bad for me. So I lean under in this game. A little bit of a wacky market, and Action Network right now and their totals cannot be trusted. I might have to send an email or something to customer support about these totals. But yeah, I've got nothing here so far. What do you think here, Pete?
It's going to be a pass for me as of right now. Obviously, my first thought would be maybe over, but that's just a lean. That's a thought. I might be on it, but as of right now, nothing. I mean, Irvin obviously has been vulnerable. Leaning Irvin under strikeouts, 4.5.
I think Kong's got Helen Mitch Keller confused with somebody else, but let's stay focused here. Do we think that the Pirates are just too public at this point and there's been buyback?
I don't know. Honestly, I think that's probably a little bit of the case. I think minus 145 is a little bit aggressive, and I see it now as I refresh my page here, closer to minus 130. So,
and AM saying over. Yeah, something just doesn't feel right about this spot. What were you say, Pete?
Just to remind people, a disclaimer at the beginning of the show: everything in the show is not a fact. So it's not necessarily a fact that Helen Keller was hiding in the attic all of her life.
That is true.
Just to remind everyone. Oh, I saw it on Pub Sports Radio. No. Some of the things we say are true, some maybe less so.
TJ says tickets on the under, sharps on the over. Concerning. Rochester Johnny waiting for Washington to have a day when everyone hits. He likes Washington here. Yes, 33 Fahrenheit is what it feels like. 47 feels like 33, Ricky, my man. And Kelly McKinnon says possible rain out. Yes, it's 56% right now, but other sites don't think it's going to be a possible rain out, so we shall see. All right, let's roll. I guess Pirates are just too public with the buyback here. Huh.
I really enjoy the chat right now. Really, talking about. I don't know if I should call her Anne Frank or I should call her Mitch Helen Keller, but the fact that she stayed up in the attic, wrote those books, and blinded death, like Cab said, is pretty impressive.
Yeah,
pretty impressive.
Let's move on. 6:45 p.m. Eastern with the San Francisco Giants 12-4, 8-2 on the road at the Philadelphia Phillies 9-7-5-2 at home. We do have Justin McKelvey with boots on the ground. Says going to rain this evening, but nothing crazy to affect the game. Perky says Jose has nice legs, but the pajama pants are hot, so he's he's interested. But let's stay focused here. Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Let's get into the weather here. We have 59 Fahrenheit, feels like 47, and it is windy, but it's left to right across the diamond. 15.2 miles per hour, dies down to 12.5. Very windy conditions here. B Shady says, who are we seeing home runs from tonight? We'll see if we get I can't call it what they're calling it, but the home run report. Verlander versus Luzardo. Perky says Phillies on them big tonight. -1.5 and first 5. Big Scott says only MLB play so far is the Phillies -1. Nate Dogg 420 looking at Verlander over strikeouts. AOD in the house. Great to see you. So we have Verlander, who's looked terrible. Losing with the Reds in that start was as frustrating as any spot has been for me this year. He was terrible. I don't understand why, if I felt that way, I wasn't on the Reds team total over. I don't understand why I'm not thinking hitting those yet. Thank you, AOD. I'm excited to hear, man. It's fucking incredibly good. I can't wait to hear about it. So Verlander's last start, he led 5 earned runs, 6 runs in total, 5 earned runs, 9 strikeouts, 5 2/3, and 8-6 extra inning win at home over the Reds. Luzardo's been excellent, coming off 4-2 extra inning loss at the Braves, but he was great. 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 6 Ks, 1 walk. The Giants are hitting the lefties with some power, 666 OPS, with just a 195 average. And the Phillies versus righties are not hitting 226, 695 OPS. I think that we need the vividness bias of them and their sticks should probably go away. Giants bullpen's been phenomenal. 1.70 ERA, 1.03 whip. And the Phillies bullpen has had some struggles at times. 4.65 ERA, 1.43 whip. Let's get into the line history. We have action here. Big Scott, Phillies first 5, team total over 2.5. We have the Giants right now at +144. They opened up at +127. The Phillies have gone from -141 to -157. Then on the total here for this one, we have an 8, -113 to the over. Opened up -114. Opened up -114 to the over. And again, at the Action Network, a site that we are all questioning these days, we have 28% of the tickets and 56% of the cash on the San Francisco Giants. So bigger bets coming in on the Giants, but this line is moving towards the Phillies. 91-91 on the over. Here we go.
I asked, by the way, Jimmy, real quick, I asked TJ about the money line numbers. So they seem to be the same still with odds and action. So that's nice.
That is comforting. So it's totals that looks like it's the issue. I'm going to have Odds Logic up for starting tomorrow, and then on next Tuesday's show, I'm going to take the 7-day trial run to see the differences. We have Coin saying 81% of tickets and 93% of cash on the Phillies. I mean, is this too public yet again, Jose, or do we trust this with the market moving?
I'm off. I thought this was actually kind of a sneaky over, if I'm being honest. TJ, or good note there, tough win conditions for Jesus. I read Jesus, I'm not going to lie. Here across the diamond might hurt his movement just a tad, while Verlander will get a boost for what it's worth. Good notes there. I leaned again sneaky over just because I think Jesus has had 2 good starts back to back there. 1 earned run, no earned runs against the Braves and Dodgers here. But I still kind of am a little dubious. Giants against lefties, I'm not sure though. So nothing here for me.
Peter Loshak, any interest?
I mean, this is didn't quite make sense to me. Luzardo almost lights out. Verlander, he's getting his strikeouts, but not surprising that he's been giving up runs. Feels like a huge. I'm sorry.
You just say Verlander, funny.
Yeah, whatever. Is Philly first 5 not? Is that just the ultimate trap of the week? The you moron trap of the week? To give this guy a free play just for being such an obvious square of the week?
I would say that was the Rockies last night, Pete. My fucking dumbass betting the fucking Rockies. What an annoyance. But yeah, I've got nothing here either, Pete. Sorry.
All right, I'll pass for now. Sure. I was thinking at least Philly team total over, but maybe not.
AM on the over. TJ on the Giants for a half unit. Professor Chris almost on the Giants. Model has this at plus 109. Robert Franklin says, consider me caught. Philly first 5 money line. Jerry Davis looking at the first 5 under. I guess it's just too public, man.
Gabby Cab saying that he predicts that the moron square trap plays of the week will ultimately be positive EV.
Irish King on the Phillies first 5 minus 1.5. Okay, so we're saying that the wind will help Verlander's movement, but have we seen? I mean, he did have 9 strikeouts in 5 2/3. Is this a spot where he steps up? Is there a fear of that?
No, he's going to continue to get his Ks, but he's going to continue to give up runs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Verlander's at old Yeller phase. I thought it was going to come later in the year, but I don't think he's going to pitch very well either.
So why are you not on this? Why are you not betting a total or a side here, Jose?
I don't feel too confident about it. Trying to keep my volume down a little bit. Like I said, I leaned over in this game. I don't like the Giants' bats though against lefties all too much. We've had that conversation. It feels like 1,000 times on this program. Giants against lefties here. Right now, they're at 89 weighted runs created plus 148 plate appearances so far.
I mean, BJ says, why is this line only minus 155? I mean, the Giants are 8-2 on the road, 12-4 overall. I mean, this is the line I expected to see with a name start? Did you think this line should be bigger or would be bigger, Peter or Jose?
I thought, the first line I saw was 140. And it's gotten bet up since then.
I thought this was a good line too.
Okay. Well, obviously I'm going to need more time on this one. Let's roll on. TJ says, anyone seen the Giants play? They just win, baby. They sure do. Let's roll on to Jose's Boston Red Sox here. 8-10, 4-7 on the road at the Tampa Bay Rays. 8-8, 8-5 at home. We're at George M. Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, Florida. Let's touch on the weather in Tampa. 76 Fahrenheit. Feels like 75. 8 miles per hour out to right field. Dies down to 6.3. But beautiful weather here today. Stacks play of the day is in business here, and it is the Boston Red Sox. And he is going up against Wine Time Sports on the Tampa Bay Rays. We have Stacks play of the day number 1. And shout out to our guy, Justin McKelvey.
Stacks.
Walker Buehler 1-1, 5.74 ERA, 1.28 WHIP, 15 2/3, 14 Ks, 2 walks, 3 homers. Last start, he went 6 1/3, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 7 Ks, 1 walk, and a 4-3 extra inning win at home versus the Jays. Ryan Pepio 1-1, 3.3 ERA, 1.50 WHIP, 16 Ks over 16 innings with 7 walks. The K to walk ratio not what we expect to start the year, and he's also allowed 4 jacks to start the year. But we're all still very high on him this season. 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, all solo shots, 5 Ks, 3 walks, and a 5-4 win at home versus the Angels. Red Sox are hitting 246, 693 OPS in the young season versus righties. The surprise has been the Rays sticks. They are smoking. 294, 807 OPS versus righties. Obviously, the stadium has had something to do with it, but that's still impressive. Bullpen better than expected, 3.93 ERA, 1.22 WHIP, while the Red Sox bullpen 4.20 ERA, 1.27 WHIP. Jerry Davis says, not saying Boston is trash, but Pepio is slept on. And Von Polo says, are we taking the player props under for NBA starting tonight? We are, Von Polo. We are. And this year, we'll talk about it in NBA. It doesn't need to be like last year, every single game bet. I think we need to pick our spots. I've got a lot to say about it, Von Polo, but yes, I'm doing it tonight and tomorrow. So let's.
By the way, Jim, I'll review it. I'll add it when we I'll remind you when we review in the end. But I'm going to add Verlander over 4.5 hits yielded minus 148. Got to take that.
Oh, that makes sense.
4.5 hits minus 148. But I'll review at the end of the show. But yeah,
cool, man.
Here
in Red Sox Rays, this total opened up at 8.5 at 4:54 p.m. By 8:19 p.m., we were at a 9. The 9 started getting bet towards the under, but at 9:30 a.m., this was juiced to minus 105. The 9. Now we're back at 8.5, so we've had no movement since the beginning. We get to the money line here. We have the Rays minus 127. They opened up minus 122. This got up to minus 136. That was at 3:45 this morning. We're back at minus 127. So 5 cents of movement towards the Tampa Bay Rays. Cash flow wise here, we have. Oh, sorry. Let me get back here to the Rays. Cash flow wise, we have 28% of the tickets and 24% of the cash on the Boston Red Sox. 98 and 99 on the over. Jose Bouquett, your Boston Red Sox in action here. Walker Buehler with a much improved performance in his last start versus the Jays. What are your plans?
Yeah, we don't talk about yesterday, but the Red Sox got embarrassed 14-1 yesterday, whatever the final score was. And they've been playing like shit for 10 days now. And Alex Cora came out yesterday and said it. We've been playing really bad for the last 10 days. I didn't have the team prepared, et cetera, et cetera. The defense has been horrible. And he said he's going to have him prepared today. And I kind of believe the man. He's one of the best managers in baseball. I think the Red Sox come out, have a bounce-back performance, play a clean game of baseball because they've been defensively playing like fucking garbage again. And it's been very frustrating to see. The factor of this damn ballpark has been a very interesting thing. I like Pepio. But all of his starts have been at home, I believe, so far. All 3. Another one here. 3 home runs. Last time you just mentioned a home run against Pittsburgh. We're going to see home runs here, I'm sure. I'm a little worried about that. And I think that the Red Sox offense will learn from last night and, just get the ball up here. Apparently you'll go. But yeah, I'm going to take the Red Sox here. And that's why I was like, wow, me and Jeff are on the same exact thing here. Red Sox here. So Red Sox for me. If they don't win this game, I will be extremely, extremely disappointed just because of how poorly the efforts have been recently, how poor the efforts have been, I should say. By the way, bullpen report, obviously they got blown out, so they brought up Michael Fulmer, and he threw 63 pitches. Bernardino, Winkowski, and Weiser all threw yesterday as well. Chapman threw Saturday, Sunday. Got a day off yesterday, obviously, so that helped. Zach Kelly, 2 days off. Garrett Whitlock threw 22 on Sunday, day off Monday. Maybe he'll go today. I don't know. I think we'll give him another day. Slayton and Wilson both ready to go today as well. So I think that's the Red Sox. I know that's the Red Sox. Good guys in there besides Whitlock, and I generally trust them here. So Red Sox win this game.
What line did you get on them?
That is an excellent question, Jimmy. I'm getting 118 as I make the bet right now.
Peter Loshak, Jose has moved on the Red Sox. We heard from Mr. Slaughter. Reds parlay. Wine Time says Red Sox will be bet for me at some point. It will be bet on at some point this season, just not yet. Peter, what are you thinking about with this spot? Pepio Buehler in Tampa.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take Pepio over 4.5 hits at just minus 113. This guy is, he's all right. Jose Bouquett, right? No. He's not all right?
I think he's a good pitcher. He's the best pitcher on the Rays. He's one of the guys on my list this year that I have to back. I think he is genuinely a good pitcher.
He's all right. I mean, he's fine.
The ballpark is going to help you, Pete.
Yeah, and he's he's been giving up walks recently, so he'll probably try to limit that a little bit. I'm going to shop around and just look at a few more things here, Jimmy the Bag. But I'm leaning towards giving Pepio over 4.5 hits. It's just minus 113 or so.
Honestly, I don't know why I hadn't thought about this earlier, and I'm sure that their team total is 4.5 here, but a 3.5 would be great. 4.5 plus 115. Yeah, I'll stay off the team total, but I do think there's going to be runs today. I just think the Red Sox offense is going to come prepared today for once. Pepio, by the way, 3 appearances, all losses against the Red Sox so far. He's pitched well in them. 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 3-1 loss. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 2-1 loss. 12 Ks, no walks in that outing, by the way. And 4 innings, 2 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 Ks, 4 walks, and an 8-5 loss there as well. So we'll see.
All right, I'll make it official, Jim. I'll shop around for a better line, but at least I'll take over 4.5 hits, minus 113 against Pepio.
And Jose on the Boston Red Sox. I'm still flat-footed on this one. I'm going to have to think about it a little more. Let's roll on. 7:05 p.m. Eastern, the Cleveland Guardians 8-7, 3-6 on the road. The Baltimore Orioles 6-9, 2-3 at home. We're at Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland. By the way, Jerry Davis saying Rays 9-1 in this spot off allowing 1 run in last 10 with cash is something I heard today. And Perky's moved on Red Sox, Philadelphia Phillies here. Let's talk about this spot in Camden. We will start with the weather in Charm City. Shout out to Vom Polo. We got a few cappers at Rock from Baltimore. 61 Fahrenheit. Feels like 47, and it is very windy here as well. 17 miles per hour left to right, very slightly out. And then it becomes just straight left to right. And then again, after a couple hours, go very slightly out. Opening up at 17 miles per hour and then 13.4 miles per hour here. Justin McKelvey on Santana Ribby here. We have Logan Allen going up against Charlie Morton. Let's get into the line history. There's our guy, Von Polo, representing Charm City. I love that city, man. Let's get into the line history. We have Morton and the Orioles at minus 143. They opened up at minus 133. So we've had 10 cents of movement towards them. It got up as high as minus 151 at 4 in the morning. Let's get to the total here. We have a total of 9, minus 117 to the under. This opened up at 8.5, minus 110 to the under. It didn't take long for it to move. Well, I guess it took 3.5 hours for it to move to minus 108, and then a couple hours after that, minus 113, and then up to minus 120 before it got to a 9. And when the 9 was initially plus 106 to the over, it hasn't really changed. You know, it's plus 104 to the over. Taking a look at the cash flow here for this spot, we have 99 and 99 on the over. I mean, this is getting ridiculous. 62% of the tickets, 66% of the cash on the Baltimore Orioles, the line moving in their direction. Coin giving us the numbers from Odds Logic, 46% of tickets, 88% of the cash on Baltimore money line. Robert Franklin on the Orioles money line. The question is, when will the Orioles start hitting lefties? Because they have not yet. 213 average, 551 OPS. Now, Jerry Davis says Allen sucks. And look, I don't think he sucks. I know that he was bad last year, but I trust the Guardians, brain trust. He's got a 3.60 ERA, 1.80 whip, 10 innings. He's got 5 Ks, 7 walks. Look, that's a horrific K to walk ratio. He's only allowed 1 jack. He's only pitched 10 innings. His last start, 3-2 win at home over the White Sox. It was a perfect situation for him to succeed going up against the White Sox team. That's actually hitting lefties okay. 4 2/3, 1 run. It wasn't earned. 4 Ks and 2 walks. Charlie Morton has an 8.78 ERA, 1.88 whip. TJ says 52% of tickets and 91% of the cash on the under at 9. I mean, I think we should stop giving out the information from the totals, Jose. I mean, it feels like it's not helping anybody.
Sure.
It's just, how could it be this off? It just doesn't make sense. I don't know what to do with it, in all honesty. Charlie Morton's last start, 5 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 1 homer, 4 Ks, 5 walks, and 4-3 loss to the Diamondbacks. Peter Loshak, it was last Tuesday that start happened, and Peter Loshak was on the first 5 over, 4.5, and he cashed it. Now, the full game went under, but the first half went over. Guardians versus righties, 219, 672 OPS. Guardians bullpen, as always, year after year, incredibly good. 2.25 ERA, 1.23 whip, while the Orioles bullpen is 3.58 ERA, 1.34 whip. Jose Bouquett, you moving on this one?
I am not 2 pit battles of pitchers I don't like in Morton and Logan Allen. Got me in the bottom mouth, as you would say, Jimmy, last time out. Logan Allen did. But I'm staying off this game. Both guys have pitched against the opposition in the last year. Mr. Charlie Morton went 7 innings, no hit. And Logan Allen went 3 innings, 9 hits, 6 earned runs there. So I probably will just end up staying off this game. Again, semi-interested and why the Orioles line moved from minus 130 to minus 150, but I'll just end up staying off.
I mean, the market is keeping me off of fading Morton, but I want to hear what Pete is going to do. Pete, are you going to look at a hits against prop, or how do you want to attack Morton? Because you've attacked him.
Yeah, I was looking at this and I was like, if it's 5.5, even pretty heavily juiced to the over, maybe I would take a shot with Morton over hits allowed. But then I look at the line and it's 3.5 minus 184, but 3.5. You telling me Charlie Morton's going to come in here and hold this team to 3 or fewer hits unless he leaves in like the first inning because of injury or something? That is a weird ass line.
Seems like he shoves here today. Seems like obviously that's what the books are saying.
It's interesting. TJ saying anyone who is model based is going to love the over here. AM, yes, he's on the over 8.5. But Professor Chris has not him. His model's only getting 8.05 runs here. Ronnie Lofton looking at the under here. I guess the market is. I would like to back Logan Allen against teams that can't hit lefties, and the market is just telling us that Morton's going to have a good start here. Is that fair to assume from the market, Peter, that the market expects Morton to be much better here?
3.5 hits. I mean, minus 180, but still 3.5. And his strikeout prop is 5.5, juice to the over.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to stay off. I mean, I don't see how I. Okay. Well, let's roll on to the next spot on the board, unless any of you gentlemen want to touch on the Guardians Orioles for anything else.
Nope, I'm good.
We roll on. 7:05 p.m. Eastern with the Kansas City Royals 8-9, 2-5 on the road at the New York Yankees 9-7, 6-4 at home. This was the message I received from Troy Torrance.
Oh boy.
And I'll have you know that this is involved. I do think we can work on that.
I disagree. I think it's perfect.
It's just cows are so lazy and dumb, and Troy Torrance is the opposite of that. It's just
Can we run that back, Pete? Can you be the deciding vote here? What do you think on that?
It's fucking hilarious. I'll tell you that. Anyone who knows Troy Torrance personally or has met him, that is hilarious.
So Troy
lazy
has said
dumb are not two words I would use to describe Troy Torrance.
Troy said that he'll be in meetings all day. Won't make the show, but Yankees run line, Yankees money line parlay is a max bet type of situation. Let's talk about the spot here. We're at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Yankees are 6-4 at home this year. Let's take a look at the line history. The line history has these New York Yankees minus 215. Open up minus 179. So we've had 36 cents of movement towards the New York Yankees. Let's get to the total here. We have an 8.5. Oh, sorry. Yeah, 8.5 minus 114 to the over. 3 cents of movement towards the over. Looking at the cash flow, we have, as you would imagine, 96% of tickets in cash here from the Action Network on the over. 7% of the tickets and 10% of the cash on the Kansas City Royals. So we have, there's certain things that need to be, in play here. You need the home team, the market moving heavily towards the home team. TJ saying Waka 50% fastball rate in 3 starts is very bad. Got to take guys like Rice and Chisholm, if you don't mind if I call him that, not Jizz.
No, I think Jizz home run props is accurate.
I'm gonna prefer Chisholm. Waka 4.20 ERA, 1.40 WHIP, 15 innings, 11 Ks, 8 walks, 1 homer. Coming up the 3-2 win at home over the Twins. We were on that under. Felt quite comfortable there. 5 1/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 homer, 4 Ks, 3 walks, and that. Freeds looked phenomenal Coming off the 4-3 win at the Tigers, he had 11 strikeouts, no walks, no earned runs, 7 innings, 5 hits. The Royals are hitting lefties okay, in the cold weather to start the year. 247, 661 OPS. I mean, it's not what you wanted to see at the end of the year. You wanted more power if you have a 247 average. Yankees versus righties, 253, 816 OPS. Royals bullpen is being quite good. So is the Yankees. 3.69 ERA, 1.32 for the Royals, 3.50, 1.25 for the Yankees. Jose Bouquett. Royals, Yankees, take it away. Oh, fly ball rate. I said fastball rate. My bad. Sorry. Of course, 50% fly ball rate. My bad. Thank you, TJ. Take it away.
My guy AM in the chat's kind of reading my mind when it comes to these totals. I lean under here again. Michael Wacha has pitched pretty decently against the Yankees, but it's more about Max Fried, who I think could shove against the Royals. 8 2/3, 3 hits, no earned runs last year against them. Essentially the same lineup. Really good lefty. They don't hit lefties all that well. So under 8.5 was definitely a look for me. I haven't moved on anything yet. TJ, if you could drop those odds, totals numbers, that'd be lovely here. Because, obviously everyone's on the over according to action. But I did like an under here. I see this going from 8.5 to 9. So the market probably keeps me off, but I did like an under in this game.
Do we think Wacha gets touched here, Peter, or are you leaning towards the under as well?
No, I wanted to fade Wacha in some shape or form, Max Fried, I don't have quite a good read on exactly how elite he is right now. He's obviously had 2 awesome road starts in a row. Jose Bouquett, you follow this shit pretty closely. You think Fried is going to, start stacking excellent starts? You think we're going to look back and see his game log showing last 15 starts, 12 or 13 of them excellent, 10 of them elite?
No? I don't think it's that much. I would say if out of 10, it'd be like 6. Mm-hmm. And I think he continues to pitch well, has some bouncy starts. But, it helps when your starts are against the Tigers, who aren't good offensively, in the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Sure.
The Tigers are raking offensively this year.
But I keep my hands up, Jimmy, and I'm gonna say that the Tigers against lefties brutally average right now. 98 weighted runs created plus, 216 plate appearances, brutally average against lefties. So
why do you have to put brutal before average?
Because I'm making a point that they're average and bad. Okay. If I was making the point that they were good, then it wouldn't be there.
That's almost as offensive as saying you're giving 110% of what you have to give.
That's true. God. You don't have that fucking 10%.
I'll write those people off that talk that type of garbage.
Yeah. Don't fucking ask any people you respect for their autograph either.
No, I learned that.
They don't give a fuck about you.
No. My dad's watched this show 0 times.
Yeah, you think my mom watches this show? Fuck no.
Peter, Royals, Yankees.
Yeah, I mean, I want to take the Yankee. I want to fade Michael Wacha in some way. Maybe the Yankees' first 5 team total over, maybe the team total over, maybe like the race to 3 or race to 4, something like that. Maybe just not overthink it and think Yanks -1. But I definitely am expecting Wacha to not have a good start here. Under 4.5 strikeouts at plus money, maybe over 4.5 hits at -150 or so.
Yeah, I think this is a public bet that we know cashes and cashes. So I'm certainly going to, I guess the run line's not going to move that much. I don't know if I need to rush in here, but it makes sense here. Now the team total over as well makes sense. Jerry Davis says Wacha 195 X batting average 269 X Woba and 83 at bats. KC couldn't hit my mom right now. Wow. Yanks and under, and AM as well on the under. TJ says any bullpen concerns for the Yankees, Jose?
I'll let you know that right now here, TJ, but I will shout out Spoons with maybe my favorite comment of the day so far.
It's a great one.
Yeah. It is very good here.
I think that Kong might have won it with his initial
that's definitely a contender of Helen Keller being stuck in the attic. That's definitely a contender up there. I'm not gonna lie. But Spoons here saying we need the cash cow to change to a dairy cow, something that's been asked of me frequently. But he says it's something we go back to daily for nourishment, not something we send to the slaughter. So, I mean, you know what? That makes a whole lot of sense, Spoon. That makes a whole lot of sense. When you put it like that, I might have to change it.
It's such a funny comment. I wish you just put a period at the end of it. That's all I ask for. If you're gonna,
it's a statement of fact.
If you're gonna be hilarious, throw a period at the end of it.
Yeah, be hilarious and be grammatically correct, you son of a bitch.
Let's roll on. 7:07.
Hold on, Yankees bullpen. We didn't answer that.
Sorry, right.
Luke Weaver, 20 pitches yesterday, threw 52 pitches in the last 2 days. I'd be shocked if he went today. Same thing with Fernando Cruz, 20 pitches yesterday, 27 on Saturday, 47 last 2. I'd be shocked if he went. Mark Leiter threw 20 on Saturday and Sunday, off day yesterday. I'd be a little surprised if he didn't go here, because the rest of the options, you have Ryan Yarbrough, who hasn't thrown since Friday. Yoendrys Gomez hasn't thrown since Friday. Ian Hamilton, 25 on Sunday. Tim Hill has thrown back-to-back days. And Devin Williams threw Saturday, 19, off day Sunday. Monday, yesterday, he threw 15 pitches. So, but Yankees bullpen definitely has been used, but I do think we see Mark Leiter. I think we see another day of Devin Williams, and we'll probably see Yarbrough as well.
I guess this just keeps moving. I guess I should just move on it now.
Keep the lefties going. Probably throws Yarbrough in there after 6-7 strong innings of Fried, and that's also extra incentive for Max Fried to throw as long as he can to help the bullpen. So maybe over.
Couple things here. Shout out to Jason Meyer, aka the El Dorado custodian in the house. Heading to the liquor store. Says best of luck, everyone. We love you, El Dorado. And Chase said, "Did you move on the Kraken, Jim?" I did, but that market move, this late market move against them, is concerning. I mean, my action's in, but a lot of moves have gone against me in the last little bit. So. Let's roll on. Next up, we have the Atlanta Braves, 5-11, 2-9 on the road. The Toronto Blue Jays, 9-8, 5-3 at home at the Rogers Center in Toronto, Ontario. We are all still very high off the Vladdy press conference yesterday. I don't know how you could be higher. I mean, it was a wonderful press conference. He had his family there with him. He talked about being born in Montreal, how much Canada means to him. We don't hear that often from sports, from high caliber, the elite athletes. We don't hear that they actually want to play up here. He got the $325 million signing bonus, and that's not going to be taxed at this point. They're still fighting a lot of these rules, but because his main home is not in Canada, it looks like it won't be taxed. We'll figure that out. But shout out to the Blue Jays brass for getting the deal done. That means a lot to the city, and we love them. Spencer Schwellenbach versus Kevin Gossman. Schwellenbach, a monster. He's been phenomenal this year through 20 innings. Absolutely amazing. 0.45 ERA, 0.65 whip, 19 Ks, 3 walks, 1 jack allowed. Coming off the 4-2 extra inning win at home versus the Phillies. 6 innings, 7 hits, 1 earned run, solo shot, 5 Ks, 2 walks in a 4-2 extra inning win at home versus Phillies. Gossman coming off a beautiful extra inning victory for his team as well. He went 8 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, wasn't earned, 10 Ks, no walks at the Red Sox. Now he comes home. Again, and AM saying Atlanta, Toronto under 8, free. Coin on the Toronto first 3 under 2.5 and the under 7.5. So what's Gossman going to be like at home this year? I don't know. He's had such dramatic splits and he's hard to trust at home. He was terrible at home last year. Braves versus righties, 233, 689 OPS. Jays versus righties, 246, 642 OPS. Both bullpens, well, the Braves bullpen had left a little bit to be desired. 4.50 ERA, 1.37 whip, but Jays bullpen's been great. 3.59 ERA, 1.09 whip. We had Hoffman blow the kiss at the Orioles dugout after they wouldn't sign him because of the medical report. Let's get into this one. Roof will be closed. I'll be at the game on Sunday.
Oh,
yeah, I'll be there. Hammered. We have, because I'm there with buddies. I'm not there with the fam. We have the Jays have gone from plus 116 to even money, a 16-cent move towards the Toronto Blue Jays. We get to the total here in this one. We have a 7.5 minus 110 to the under. This opened up at 8. It moved to 7.5. First at 12:30 in the morning, and then it went back to 8. Then it moved to 7.5 again at 8:25 this morning. Now we are here, and it is juiced to the under. So expecting a nice performance here from both pitchers on the bump. We get to the cash flow. We have 97 and 97 on the over, if that's to be believed. 54% of tickets and 84% of cash on the Atlanta Braves. Big bets on the Braves, but the market moving towards the Toronto Blue Jays. Take it away for us, Jose Snips Bouquet, Braves Jays.
Jimmy, have you or did you look up who you're going to see on Sunday pitching?
I have not yet, no.
Right now, it's slated for old Easton Lucas versus Luis Castillo.
Oh, that'll be fun.
So that would be very interesting indeed.
That'd be fun.
As for this game, I had nothing yet. I wish I could have heard you wax poetically about Vladdy's press conference, but I was about to piss my pants. I'm glad
it was very special. It was special. I listened to the whole thing. It was I'm
glad.
Wonderful.
It's hilarious. 54% of the bets, by the way, 84% of the money on the Braves, as you mentioned. Line going from -115 to -107-ish. Heritage had it at -125, and now it's basically even money both ways, -106, -104. Again, if this was all the money, bets and money on the Braves here, and the line was moving towards the Jays like this, I'd be more down. I'm just a little pitched out, so I'm staying off. But it would be Jays or nothing for me.
What do you think here, Pete?
First of all, Jim, you can add, again, I'll review it later on. Yanks, race to 3, -140. Yanks, race to 3, -140. This one, yeah. I mean, Schwellenbach, lights out, right? And Gossman, off of that excellent 8-inning strikeout start, is like the first 5 under. Another, moron, just give him whatever free play he wants, play of the week. So obvious, right? Schwellenbach, lights out. Pass for me, Jim.
Huh. Did you have any interest in the first 3 under, Pete?
Sure. We're no run in the first. That's what I wrote down here. First 3 under, yes.
TJ said that's a great bet. Your move on the Yankees race to 3 -140 says because if KC gets to New York, it won't be until late. All right. Philly Eagle Fly on the Tide after 2. Got an early at +160. Got a +164. Now +168. Wow. Wine time moving on the Jays money line. All right. I find the first 3 under appealing. I'll probably move it to 2 at plus money. I don't think I can get on a money line spot. Irish King, though, on the Jays. Nate Dogg, 420 play today. Toronto money line. Bichette and Vladdy to hit, and Gossman over strikeouts. All right, let's roll on. So, Jose, you stayed off.
I stayed off. But it is Blue Jays are pass.
Sorry. Oh, Blue Jays pass. 7:40 p.m. Eastern.
Jimmy, you follow, Gossman up and down, left and right. After he's coming off a 10 strikeout, 8-inning, awesome road start, does he come back home and give up 4 runs in 5 innings, stuff like that?
He did last year.
Yeah.
Right. I'll say every single time.
Yeah. I'll say this. I don't think he's the same guy from last year. I think as of right now, I mean, he could get tired or whatever. He looked as fresh as a daisy. I think he looked amazing, and I think he looked like the guy that dominated the Red Sox 2 years ago. So I think Kevin Gausman might have a really good year.
I hope so. I hope so. Peter, there's a new nickname for you in the chat.
Oh, great.
I was giving you a new nickname. I'm not sure if Juicy Juice Loshak. What do you think?
Oh,
JJL.
Also, that could be JJ Loshak. JJL.
Yeah.
JJL. I like that JJL.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Huh?
All right.
Brought to you, Pete.
It also could be JJL, a.k.a. Jackoff Loshak.
Was that Jose?
I was interested. Yeah.
You sounded way too interested. You sound like that. It was a delicious entity.
Jimmy, I was immediately interested. And then
all right, we move on. 7:40 p.m. Eastern. Detroit Tigers 10-6, 5-5 on the road at the Milwaukee Brewers 8-9, 5-3 at home. We're at American Family Field, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Jack Flaherty going up against Quinn Priester. Flaherty 1-0, 1.62 ERA, 0.96 WHIP, 16 2/3, 21 strikeouts, 7 walks, and 1 homer. Last start was very nice. 4-3 loss at home versus the Yankees. He went 9 strikeouts, 3 walks, 5 1/3, didn't allow an earned run, 3 hits. Priester looked great. 7-2 loss at the Rockies. Wasn't on him. 5 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, and a solo shot, 4 Ks, and 2 walks. Tigers are hitting righties. 259, 774 OPS, and the Brewers are hitting them decently. 241, 734 OPS. This Brewers bullpen has been atrocious. 5.94 ERA, 1.52 WHIP. Tigers bullpen has been strong. 3.93 ERA, just 0.99 WHIP. AM on the over 7.5 says they want to keep hanging the 7.5. I'll keep betting it. That's what he says. I'll keep.
You say over?
Betting it. Yes, he's on the over 7.5 here. Let's talk about the line history. We have a 7.5 minus 115 to the over. This opened up at 7.5, went up to 8 a few times, and they kept coming back. We still have 7 cents of movement towards the over. We get to the money line here. We have the Tigers at minus 106. They opened up at minus 121, so a big move towards the Brewers. They've gone from plus 110 to minus 102. Very legit move towards them. And Stacks play today number 2 is the over 7.5 here. Stacks play today number 2. Over 7.5. So we have the corner of AM and Stacks Boulevard here on this over. Let's touch on the line history. It says 98-97 on the over. We also have 24% of tickets and 36% of cash on the Brewers, and the line moving towards them. Wow. I'm high on Priester. I got in a fight. I got to remember who I was fighting last year who said that Priester was the worst pitcher in Major League Baseball. But I like Priester. I like the pickup. Jose talked about the transaction that was made. The Brewers gave up a lot for him.
A first round pick.
Yeah, there's high hopes for him. The market is telling us that the Brewers are live and should be bet. Jose, are we going to follow the market?
Yes. This was the spot. Well, it's not really like I didn't know that this was the spot. I actually just bet the Brewers 2 seconds ago. But this is kind of what I wanted in the other game. I wanted more bets and money on the one side, the line moving towards the other one. Everyone kind of knows at this point that's kind of like my sweet spot. I like that zone. 76% of the bet, 64% of the money on the Tigers here. Line for me goes from minus 118 to minus 106 here. Heritage opened this line at minus 120, now minus 108 Tigers. So yeah, I'm on Quinn Priester and the Brewers. The only reason I didn't bet him last time out because he was in Coors for the first time, and I didn't want to back a pitcher in Coors for the first time going out there for his first appearance, and he shoved it up their ass. So I think Quinn Priester, bet on pitcher. I think he's a good pitcher. And it's funny. The Red Sox traded him away. Obviously, they got a good amount for him. But he was like the guy they were supposed to have on that 6th spot in the rotation for him. Like he was very close to making their roster. And I think he's just a good pitcher. So, and the Brewers obviously are a good pitching development factory as well. So they'll tinker, they'll do their thing. Quinn Priester, they get the job done. And I believe their bullpen will get better as well.
Yeah, I think so as well. So Brewers money line for you. Have you bet it?
Yeah, I just bet it during this breakdown, minus 101 for me here. And TJ, by the way, has Detroit by margin, have a half unit on money line, half unit -1. Way to give me the Hershey squirts, TJ.
And Jermaine and Jerry Davis believe Priester is horrible. They must have thought that Roy Halladay was trash when he had the worst ERA in Major League Baseball. Just a trash pitcher, that guy, Doc Holliday.
Guys, he's going to defend Quinn Priester with his life. Don't you fucking slander him in his chat.
Peter Loshak, your thoughts here?
Yeah, I was thinking that the first half over might be worth a shot. A little bit weird, though. First half over is like kind of high considering how high the full game total is. Full game total is like 8 juice to the under, 7.5 juice to the over. First half total is first 5 is 4.5. Only minus 118 on the under.
Funny, I leaned under in first half, but
yeah,
that's a little. I don't bet first 5s anymore because of that reason. So
I'm leaning first 5 under. Not sure if I'm going to pull the trigger on it.
I'm leaning Brewers money line. I'm also interested in that Brewers team total over 3.5. Lex Steele in the house. What up, Lex? I don't know if I get there. And Spooner having Kerry Carpenter over 1.5 bases is his favorite bet today. What do you think of that Brewers team total over Jose Bouquett?
I was Jack Flaherty's longest defender for a long time, and I jumped off the bandwagon. He finally starts pitching well, but I don't want to back it here, honestly. I just don't like the Brewers' offenses, really. Like, they're 13th right now, 107 weighted runs created plus against righties this year, so a little above average, but I could see this being a closer scoring, 2-1 Quinn Priester kind of win, but I didn't want to overcomplicate it, keep it clean, as you would say.
And Peter, nothing for you officially?
Yeah, I'll pass.
We roll on. We had the Target Field in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Wine Time Sports High School buddy Tyler McGill pitching for the New York Mets here. And AM saying he'll be on the over this entire series. If the total was 9, he'd still play the over. AM bullish with his over action here. Going up against Bailey Ober. I cashed on the under when Bailey Ober played a pitch against Michael Wacha. Bailey Ober is a problem for me. I always believe he's better than his numbers indicate. I've watched his starts where he's been very good. He's not, it doesn't help. Again, I don't think watching these games helps that much. Tyler McGill's looked awesome. He didn't look great in that 5-0 loss at home to the Marlins last start. 4 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs. They weren't earned. 7 Ks, 3 walks. We have AM here on the under 8. And Kong says New York Mets are the play. That last start by Bailey Ober, he went 6 innings, allowed just 1 earned run, 4 Ks and 1 walk. Fernando Mendoza in the house. We have Mets versus righties, Twinkies versus righties. Mets versus righties, 210, 660 OPS, almost very similar number for the Twinkies, 225, 656 OPS. The Mets bullpen has been phenomenal, 1.82 ERA, 0.93 whip, while the Twins bullpen, 3.38 ERA, 1.13 whip. And Jermaine looking at the alt number in this one, the alt under 7. Let's touch on the weather here for this start. 53 Fahrenheit at first pitch, feels like 42 and 11.6 miles per hour to right field. It starts moving towards the right field pole during the game, but it's still out to right field. We get to line history here. We have the Twins at minus 104. They opened up at plus 101, 5 cents of movement towards the Minnesota Twins. On the total here, we have an 8 at a pick'em. It opened up minus 111 to the over, so we've come back a little bit, a tightening of vig as well. So we've a slight move towards the under. And we have Justin McKelvey. I'm sure he meant bullish, unless he doesn't like his friend. Bullish on the under 8. Justin McKelvey's friend on the under 8 in this McGill over spot. Let's grab the cash flow.
Jimmy, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think you meant boyish.
I don't think so.
He likes your supple skin.
It's not me he's talking about. He's talking about his friend. He didn't call me boyish.
I said, Jimmy, my friend is boyish.
Yeah. Fuck, man. You think I just
Jimmy,
let him
my friend, comma, is boyish.
All right. We have here 97-96 on the over. Just 15% of the tickets and 12% of the cash on the Twins. The lines move slightly towards them. Take it away, Jose. I know the Twinkies have not been good to you.
Yeah, they can go fuck themselves. Fuck the Twins. I don't want to bet this game. I don't want to bet any game the Twins are involved in. Rocco Baldelli should be held accountable for these mistakes at this point. Now, I love Rocco Baldelli, but that guy cannot fucking coach his way out of a paper bag, apparently. So, no action for me. Good luck to try Tyler Miguel. The market, I'll mention it real quick before I move on. Everyone betting the Mets here, 88, 85, and the line kind of staying the same. Has me semi-interested in the Twins, but I refuse to lose on the Twins 3 days in a row.
Well, I will be the one that loses on the Twins then. I want the Twins, and I want to join Justin and his friend on the under as
His
well.
boyish friend.
We don't need to keep hitting that. Peter, your plans for Mets Twins?
Yeah, I guess I'm going to pass. I think there's a little regression. in store for McGill and Ober. I don't have my first thought was maybe under 5.5 strikeouts, but yeah, Ober can come in with a surprising 7-inning 2-run 8 strikeout start somewhat regularly. So gonna be a pass for me.
All right.
I can imagine Justin McKelvey making the face he's making in the chat right now, and I can just imagine it now. It's tickled me, Justin. I'm not gonna lie.
It shouldn't tickle you. He's not somebody you want angry.
I love Justin. Seeing him a little heated under their collar is a little funny to me.
Oh, it's very boyish of you, Jose. Let's roll on. 7:40 p.m. Eastern with the Oakland Athletics 6-10, 4-3 on the road at Chicago White Sox 4-11, 4-5 at home. We're at Wright Field in Chicago, Illinois. We head to the south side for this one. We have a total at 8, sitting at 8. So this opened up at 8, and in less than an hour, it was 8.5. Not only that, but it moved to 8.5, and it was juiced to the over when it did. This wasn't a slight move to 8.5. This was a major move to 8.5.
The wind in this game is apparently crazy.
Okay, well, let's talk about that here. We have. Well, it's not crazy. Unless maybe I'll refresh.
I just have Swish having 12 till 10, 11.
Okay, then yeah, that's what I've got too. It's a very heavy wind day here. I mean, but so we have 12.5 miles out to center field, and then it gets slightly to right center, 11.6 and 10.7 mile per hour winds. This total right now, though, is back from whence? Not only that, but this went from 8.5 all the way down to 7.5. And now we're back at 8, but it's juiced to the under. We've had 17 cents of movement towards this under. When we get to the money line for this spot, we have the A's at minus 155. They opened up at minus 148, now at minus 155. 7 cents of movement towards the Oakland A's. When we get to the cash flow here for this spot, we have 98% tickets, 90% cash on the over, 80% of tickets, and 86% of the cash on the Oakland Athletics. Jeffrey Springs has been good to us. We backed him in that spot, the start last week. Again, it felt like more of a fade of Cease, honestly, after the 2 great home starts and then heading out to the road. But Springs gave us a quality start, and that's what he is more than capable of. 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, 1 homer, 4 Ks, and 2 walks, and that 10-4 win at home. We have Sean Burke on the other side. I don't need to mention again that he's the second most famous Sean Burke, but 6.08 ERA, 1.28 whip, 8 Ks and 4 walks over 13 1/3 allowed, 3 jacks. His last start was also against the Padres. It was in San Diego. He went 3 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, 1 homer, 4 Ks, 4 walks. The A's are hitting .231, 676 in against righties. White Sox versus lefties is bad. 198, 529 OPS. Feels like we can pick on them against lefties. A's bullpen 5.19 ERA, 1.63 whip. White Sox bullpen 3.22 ERA, 1.33 whip. Gualo, I used 2 different sites. We're trying to figure out whether we want to use the site that we've been using for cash flow information. We've been using Action, and we're kind of getting away from it. We're talking about moving on to Odds Logic. For line shopping and where the lines are moving, I don't really want to promote the site I'm using. If you're on X, I would gladly tell you in a DM. I just don't really want to promote them. Jose Bouquett, A's, White Sox.
Yeah, you guys will know that these are both pitchers on my my list of guys I like to back here. Sean Burke has been getting smacked recently. 3 innings, 3 earned runs, 4 Ks, 4 walks. Last time out, not great. 6 earned runs against Minnesota, not great. So this is going to be a sit back, and hopefully he proves to me why I should have backed him here. I leaned under because, again, this is 2 of my pitchers that I like here. And a rare, I leaned first 5 under here, but I just didn't want to end up moving on this game. A little bit too much confusion, and the wind blowing out heavy kept me off and under.
Well, we know that, Burke's problems are against left-handed bats. Are there enough left-handed bats in the A's lineup for us to have confidence at this favorite line? You got Butler, the lefty, Soderstrom, a lefty, Blade, a lefty. There's going to be more, but it's just those 3 right now. A lot of righties, and all those righties, none of them are switch hitters. Peter Loshak, your thoughts? Take it away.
I was thinking, I was leaning White Sox and first 5 White Sox at the line. Why not Jose Bouquett? If you're so high on Sean Burke, Jose Bouquett, why not take the White Sox as a home dog?
Because I've taken them as a home dog. Or, well, I don't know if it's home. I've taken them with Sean Burke's last 2 starts, and I've lost. And that's like probably 85% of the reason. All the money on the A's and the line not moving is very interesting. I'll tell you that.
And Spooner's right. Those are the power bats. I mean, so is Strom having a monster start. Pete, where are you leaning?
I'm leaning to White Sox first 5, but I'll hold off for now, I guess.
I will say a premature dong here. Premature dongulation, I guess, is what it would be called. The law dog Lawrence Butler would be an interesting one today.
Are we going to start trusting the White Sox bullpen? Late in the season last year, I told you guys that the White Sox bullpen was starting to pitch well. We had the stats that were backing it. They've started the year well. Jose, do you think we can start trusting this bullpen?
I don't know. I find it difficult to do so personally. They've pitched well, sixth in bullpen ERA, 3.22, but a 4 FIP, 406 xFIP, and they still only collected 0.2 WAR in that, which is kind of crazy. That's pretty impressive. That they're 6th, sure. I'll mention as well they're 2nd right now with on left on base rate. Obviously, that's a very important stat for relievers. 84.7 runners left on base there. So very interesting note there. 10 K9 as well. It's another good indication for their bullpen, but I find it a little more difficult personally. But yeah, I can see why you like them.
Okay, I'm going to need more time. Jermaine, so I'll follow. Gualo, can you just, well, I'll see what, I must follow you though, Jermaine. Can you drop your X handle in the chat, Jermaine, to make sure I follow you? Okay, so I expect in this game the White Sox to struggle against lefties and the A's to, get a few runs by. I mean, why, Pete, what's the concern about backing the A's here?
Line seems too big to me based on the limited number I'm looking at. I'm also thinking about you think the White Sox are going to have a quiet day offensively?
As long as Springs is in there, yes. They're not going to be able to hit lefties. They haven't been able to all year. I don't know why anything would change. I think Springs is a pretty quality lefty.
Okay, well, I was leaning White Sox team total over, but that's just what I was thinking about.
And Bo Jackson liking White Sox as well. Shout out to our guy, Bo Jackson. Spooner says Sean Burke is the highest left on base of any starter today. The second lowest BABIP. I'm getting on A's -1. This kid's going to get hit with regression. Okay, I've got to figure this out a little more, but I think the A's are a spot here to back. Okay, let's roll on to the next spot on the board here, and Hunter Brown on the hill. It's just such a mess right now with the Astros bullpen. It seems like when I'm on them, they fall apart. I told you guys, we went over Hunter Brown's statistics first time through the lineup, how bad they were. And I still had them at -1. I still bet them. I couldn't stop. I can't help myself. I just want to have some pre-game action with Hunter Brown on the hill. I think he's an elite pitcher. He was awesome in that loss at the Mariners. They lose 7-6. He goes 6 innings, allows 2 hits, no earned runs, 3 Ks, 0 walks. That was 5-0 with 2 out in the 8th. They were up 6-4 with 2 out in the 9th. Fucking trash. Fetty 1-1, 4.20 ERA, 1 whip, 15 innings. He's only got 5 strikeouts this year. 5 strikeouts with 8 walks, 2 jacks. Not the numbers he's looking for. He was very good in his last start. 2-1 extra inning loss at the Pirates. We have Millsy looking at Brown over 5.5 Ks. Jerry Davis looking at Hunter Brown 6 Ks and 6 innings parlay for him. Astros versus righties 227, 641 OPS. Cards versus righties 286, 791 OPS. Astros bullpen 3.23 ERA, 1.19 whip. They're lights out when I don't have a bet on them. Cards bullpen 4.65 ERA, 1.39 whip. Let's get to the weather here at Busch Stadium to get started. 10.7 miles per hour. It's 61, feels like 51. It's fine. It's clear. 10.7 miles per hour to right field. It dies down to 7.2 by the end of the game. We get to the line history here. we have Brown at minus 123, opened up minus 118. We have 5 cents of movement towards the Astros. From a total standpoint here, we have 7.5 minus 107 to the under for St. Louis. This opened up at 7, lasted there for 40 minutes before. Now it was heavily juiced to the over at 7, but it didn't last long to get to 7.5, which we've stayed. Now minus 105 to the over, so it moved towards the over. And then when we get to the cash flow for this spot, we have 98.98 on the over, if that's to be believed. 62% of the tickets, 60% cash on the Houston Astros. Jose Bouquett, I'm high on both of these pitchers. AM's on the over 7.5. Says under another situation, if they keep hanging 7.5 with these teams, I'll keep betting it. Says the entire series will be over the 7.5. And Coin has 68% of tickets, 95% of cash on Houston. This line's not moving. Not moving. Jose Bouquett, Astros Cardinals.
Yeah, I was very close to moving on the Cardinals yesterday, and I didn't. And it kind of, kicked my ass about it the whole day yesterday. I like both these guys too. Hunter Brown, a pitcher that I think can be top 10 pitcher in baseball at some point. Fetty, I think is a back pitcher, especially because he's a free agent next year, looking to be traded onto a good team. So I stayed off this game. AM leaning over. This is the one time I disagree with AM, and I lean under in this game. But I just didn't want to move on this, unfortunately. So I stayed off this one as well.
Peter, your thoughts?
Yeah, I was looking at that White Sox stuff more. Yeah, I mean, got to be leaning Houston. First 5 in full game. Are people disagreeing with that in the comment section?
No, but there's some concern. I mean, there's a lot of money that's been bet on Houston and only a 5-cent move. I'd like both these starting pitchers a lot, and I'm comfortable backing them. First 3 under 2.5, and then moving on the Astros. I'm very interested to hear your plan.
Yeah, let me just look at some lines, and I will get back to you on this, Jimmy the Bag. Definitely looking to definitely leaning Houston here. First 5 full game.
Well, I like the sounds of that. Let's roll on here. 8:05 p.m. Eastern. We have the LA Angels 9-6, 7-5 on the road. The Texas Rangers 9-7, 6-1 at home. We're at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. It is 74 at first pitch. I believe that's just isn't it? No, it's 70 to 85. I got to go over this again. I'll do it while you guys are talking. I believe it's 70 Fahrenheit to 85 Fahrenheit. The roof is open. Is that right, Jose?
I'm not 100% sure either, honestly.
I had it last year, so I'll figure this out. Jermaine says Donovan on a 10-game hit streak, more than half 2 units. Justin McKelvey says he thought that Molly was pitching. Let's do it.
I didn't have a pitcher overnight.
Oh, it's Molly.
Okay.
It's Molly. Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay, so it is not Corbin Day. Important. Thank you, Justin. So I don't have Molly's stats up. Jose will give us a Molly breakdown. You say Kikuchi on the other side. Now, he's looked bad through 3 starts, but they've all come on the road. Now, he's never, his first year as an Angel. I'm not sure what to do with all that. Generally speaking, I would think that the pitcher coming home after 3 bad road starts, a pitcher that was expected to be the ace of the rotation, will have a good start. That does change when it's his first season with the team. Angels, we don't need to know Angels versus lefties anymore. Also, it's not Corbin, Jermaine, and also that means that we have Molly, a pitcher with a rich history with the Angels. So this is trickier than I expected. The Rangers have been hitting lefties decent, 233, 712 OPS. Those numbers will, get better as the weather gets warmer. A coin leaning to the Angels, 73% of tickets, 94% of the cash on Texas money line. The Angels bullpen's been an atrocity, 6.29 ERA, 1.75 whip. Rangers bullpen, 4.37 ERA, 1.27 whip. So let's pull up the line history here again. So we have this total at 8.5 minus 116 to the over. This opened up minus 108 to the over. So we had 8 cents of movement towards the over. Then on the money line, we have the Rangers at minus 116. They opened up minus 114. And then when we look at these numbers, again, questionable, 99-99 on the over, 68 and 62 on the Texas Rangers. Jose Bouquett, I like the look that AM has. I think this total should be going towards the over. Yes, AM, we've been speaking about Amalie pitching and not Patrick Corbin. Jose, your thoughts here for Angels Rangers?
Yeah, I would agree with the over. Angels against righties here. I just had that number up. Let me pull it back up.
It's been great.
121 weighted runs created plus. That is very good, like you mentioned. By the way, the Tigers and the Cardinals are right in front of them. I expect both those numbers to drop, but they are hot right now, so just take that note. Molly has pitched phenomenally this year, and it's been kind of a surprise for me. 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 5 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs in his first 2, or I should say his second 2 outings. Hit a 1 2/3 outing against the Red Sox I've thrown out there. But 2 good starts to begin the year here. I just don't kind of buy it. He is locating. If you look at his location plus on Fangraph or whatever, he's throwing his pitches where he wants them to, and that has been the big difference here. His splitter has been one of the best location plus pitches, and so is his cutter. But his stuff plus is still like in the 90s. His splitter's in the 70s. So I think he's eventually he's going to get touched up. I could see this being the time for it. I lean over, but I haven't moved on anything yet.
And your expectation of Kikuchi here in his first home start for the Angels?
I've been anti-Kikuchi all year. He was the first guy I wrote down as a fade guy this year, if I'm being honest. Going into a new environment, you're the big money guy. It's just like, no incentives to pitch well, really. I don't know. I trust Kikuchi's character, but I just didn't think he would have a good year this year, and I don't trust him generally.
Peter Loshak, Angels, Rangers, Globe Life.
Just a pass. Too many uncertainties here. And then when you got no Corbin, that was disappointments. Just a pass. Too many uncertainties here. But I am going to add on Houston first 5. Money line. I will line shop and give you the line, Jim.
And by the way, Kelly, I guess I caught that late. Yeah, we're on the road with the Angels, so Kikuchi's still battling those road demons.
All right, let's roll on here, but I'm interested in joining on the over 8.5. Very interested. Next up for us, 9:40 p.m. Eastern, Chicago Cubs 11-8, 7-4 on the road at San Diego Padres 14-3, undefeated 11-0 at Petco Park. Let's get into.
We're starting to be like, oh, should we bet the Padres to win the division? Because the Dodgers are still like minus 500. I think that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if I can get there, but I'd be interested to hear if you do pull the trigger on that. 61 Fahrenheit at first pitch, feels like 58 Fahrenheit, so you can imagine the marine layer in effect. Left to right, slightly in, and gets down to 4.5 after an hour. Then let's get to the line history here for this Cubbies Padres game. We have the Cubbies at minus 153. They opened up minus 123. Jesus. 30 cents of movement towards Shota Imanaga. From a total standpoint, we have an 8 minus 107 to the over. This opened up at 7.5 and is now an 8. Cash wise, we have 93% of tickets, 92% of cash on the over, 53 and 57 on the San Diego Padres. Wow. Shota coming off a rough start, 6-2 loss at home versus the Rangers. He went 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 homers, 4 Ks. But he's had a good season. It was a surprise poor start. Vasquez, on the other hand, continues to pitch well. 6 strikeouts and 12 walks in 15 2/3. Hard to believe he could be pitching so well, but he's not getting barreled. 5 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run, no homers, 1 K, 3 walks, and that 2-1 win at the A's. Cubs are hitting righties hard, 259, 784 OPS. Padres are hitting lefties well, 256, 733 OPS. Cubs bullpen's been a real problem, 5.23 ERA, 1.73 whip, while the Padres bullpen's been dynamite. 1.57 ERA, 0.97 whip. Jose Bouquett, Cubs Padres.
Nothing here either, unfortunately. This line has exploded, though. Jimmy, what did you have this opening up at again?
Minus 123 to minus 153. What do you have?
Yeah, the same. So maybe we just missed it. Shota, very good pitcher. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he shut down the Padres here. Padres against lefties are not very good, but 109 weighted runs created plus. That's sixth best in the league, but that's only 9% above average here. The top six against lefties are kind of separated themselves by quite a bit. So I have nothing in this game. I lean Cubs here. Maybe you could throw in a parlay. Randy Vasquez is not a guy I typically want to back, but he's been good. He's been really good this year. He's pitched well against the Cubs last year, so nothing here for me.
Ronnie lofted on that first 5 under 4.5. Peter, your thoughts on the Cubs and this huge market move towards them?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with it. I don't want to give it out as a pick after the move, though. But yeah, I would agree with it. I mean, obviously, is San Diego going to make adjustments based on what happened in the first matchup? Maybe. Yeah, lean Cubs, agree with the move, but pass.
Spooner says Cubbies lineup is all righties. Pitch around Kyle Tucker, and it's an easy day for Vasquez, a righty specialist. Wow.
Yeah, and I would agree with, and I lean under as well. Sorry, I had to say that too.
That does make the under appealing. Jermaine says, how many lefties do the Cubbies have? Tucker, Bush, Crow, Armstrong. Hap is a switch hitter. So Hap, Tucker to open up the game, but then it gets much easier. Let's talk about the final spot on the board before we get into the 2 NBA playing games and put a bow on the show. 10:10 p.m. Eastern, the Colorado Rockies 3-13, 1-9 on the road at the LA Dodgers, 12-6, 8-2 at home. We're at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, California.
On Jackie Robinson Day.
On Jackie Day, yeah, absolutely. Shout out to that for sure. 57 Fahrenheit. Feels like 54 out to right field. 57, it closes at 54, so weather doesn't change much. Let's get to the line history here. We have this total at 8.5, minus 111 to the under. It's opened up minus 106 to the under. We've moved 5 cents on the under. On the money line here, we have the Dodgers at minus 293. They opened up minus 289, so very little movement. You guys know I'm very high on Feltner. TJ, you're the man. Thank you for rocking with us. You guys know I'm very high on Feltner. I am. I believe in the kid. Also, he's looked best I've ever seen him look this year. Loaded bases, no out situations where he's only allowing 1 run. He's not breaking down. And then he's going up against Landon Knack, who's not made it through 3 innings yet this year through 2 starts. Ames on the under 8.5 against this should be a flat 8. And Chase J looking at Rockies and Padres money lines. Feltner's last start, 7-2 win at home versus the Brewers, 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 7 Ks, 2 walks. I like him a lot. The Rockies are not hitting righties at all. 211, 597 OPS so far this year. But Landon Knack looked horrible. Last start, he went 2 1/3, 4 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 homer, 2 Ks, 4 walks, in a 6-5 win at the Nationals. Dodgers rating 249, 790 OPS versus righties. Both bullpens have, the Rockies bullpen struggled mightily. 5.50 ERA, 1.66 whip. I can't tie the Dodgers into that with a 4.09 ERA, 1.25 whip. And TJ says, about to go to 9. Group just bet it. The over 8.5 in this one. Group just bet it. Take it away for us, Jose Bouquett. Rockies, Dodgers at Dodger Stadium.
Yep, everyone knows my bet at this point. I bet it yesterday. It was a semi-close game. The Rockies had their opportunities. Bottom or top of the 8th, down 2 guys on, 2 outs. Couldn't get it done, but I'll bet it here. Again, Rockies money line, minus 300 fade. No team in baseball should be minus 300, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Ryan Feltner, 2 appearances against the Rockies or against the Dodgers last year. 2-1 loss, 6 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 3 Ks, 2 walks. And against the Dodgers again, and by the way, these were both at home for him. 5 innings, 7 hits, 6 earned runs, 6 Ks, 2 walks, and a 7-6 victory there. I'll trust Ryan Feltner. I trust the Rockies, and we're back at it again. So plus 255 for me.
Plus 255 here. And shout out to the El Dorado custodian, our guy, Jason Meyer. $20 dono to bless our action. Thank you, Jason, my friend. Thank you for all that you do for us, man. We had the chance to rock with them at Pupapalooza 2.
Yeah.
Shout out to Eldorado Custodian here. Okay, well, I'd like to get involved here, and I think that I can. I would be looking, obviously, at early Feltner versus Knack, and, that would be like a first 3 spot or a first 5 spot. Peter, your plan of attack here and your expectations of Landon Knack?
That's just a pass. I mean, obviously, it's a get right spot for him. So I'd love to, if I had a better expectation of how many innings he was likely to go, I would, maybe bet on some like a buy low spot for him to do better at home against a weak lineup. I'd love to take a strikeout prop, but who knows? So it's going to be a pass for me. Leaning Landon Knack to have a better start than expected.
I would be very interested in the Rockies first 3 plus a half. What is your expectation, Pete, of Feltner in this start? Am I too high on him? Generally speaking,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any reason to. He's a fine little pitcher there. Why are you so high on him? I'm just curious. Are there analytics?
I just watched him closely over the years, and he's becoming a real gamer. He's not flustered ever. He's I think he's going to be bet on this season. It's tricky to say that with the Rockies, but
yeah. Okay. I believe you. I trust you.
I'm thinking Rockies first 3 plus a half minus 115. It's kind of expensive at 365 right now, but that's what I would be looking at. Jose, anything official for you?
Besides Rockies money line, no, I'm good. Plus 255.
And you moved on the Rockies at plus 255 here. All right, let's review action. Jose, we got just 2 games in NBA before we put a bow on this. Jose, tell us about your plan, your card. Break down your action.
Yes, and I'll give you a bonus NBA play as well, just for shits and gigs there. But I did bet it, so shout out to that. Reds minus 104, full game money line. Red Sox plus 118, full game, and these are all full game money lines, I should say, I guess. Milwaukee Brewers minus 101, Colorado Rockies plus 255 for me.
I like it. Gorky in the house. BC, Bayern, Orlando moneyline. Unicaja minus 8. Golden State Warriors moneyline. 2 separate spots. Mr. Belvedere's action as well. Gorky, thank you so much for.
And by the way, shout out to the Gorky for joining us on Saturday as well.
He came on live?
Yes, came on live. Yes, gave out a winner. Shout out to Gorky here. Got me on the Angels with him the other day as well. So. Nice. It was great to have him on there for a bit, and cannot wait to have him potentially on the Saturday call-in shows.
I love the show, by the way. I thought it was awesome. I really, really loved the call-ins. I really loved the way it went. I think the Saturday show was great. Peter Loshak, can you review your action?
Sure. All right. Well, a little bit iffy as a group, but we'll see. We got Lodolo over 5.5 strikeouts minus 103. Verlander over 4.5 hits minus 148. Epio over 4.5 hits minus 109. Yankees race to 3 minus 140. And Houston Astros first 5 money line minus 140.
I have moved on the Reds. I got minus 105, so that's the only bet I've made. I need more time, obviously, and I've got all the notes and I've copied and pasted everything. I have some interest in the Pirates minus 1, as well as some interest in Philly. I don't think I get there. Then I am going to move on the Yanks on the run line. Am I also going to move on their team total over or first 5 minus a half? Do I want to have a second bet down? Pete, of course, moved on the race to 3. I'll think about that. The first 3 under in Atlanta, Toronto. I'm going to join Jose on the Brewers money line. I'm going to be on the Twins in the under at Target Field. I've got to decide exactly what I'm going to do with the Athletics. Probably just one bet, but I'm going to be backing Springs there. Then the first 3 under 2.5 in Houston, St. Louis, as well as the Astros. Loshak moved on the Astros first 5. Maybe that's what I do. The over 8.5 in Angels, Rangers. Then have I just lost this Cubs line here? Possibly. If that's the case, maybe just stick with the under, expecting the Imanaga bounce back. And then the Rockies first 3 plus a half I expect to be on our card. Jose, excellent work, my man. Pete and I are going to attack these 2 games in NBA and then put a bow on this show. Anything you want to add to your action or to baseball in general?
No, but NBA play of the day, I guess. I don't know really how to describe it, but NBA play I've moved on. The Los Angeles Clippers to win the series against the Denver Nuggets. I bet that at plus 105. I think the Nuggets go.
Wow. That's interesting. I can't wait to talk NBA. Let's get after it right now because we will have graphics for our friend Billy Friedrich. The Pig Milk play of the day gets us started here in Atlanta, Orlando. The Pig Milk play of the day over 218.5. And Peter, look, it's been a tough year for me. I'm sitting here plus 1 unit, but in my lowest amount of action I've ever had in NBA season, this actual record is better than it looks because I went through the most horrific 15-game losing streak. 15 games, and I'm still plus overall. I mean, that's not easy to handle, and I'm excited about capping these 2 games. So shout out to Pig Milk Play Day, Billy Friedrich, over 218.5. Pig Milk Play Day, 80-74 plus 17.7 units here. And Spooner is on Seattle Mariners, so giving Jermaine some confidence. Justin McKelvey tailed just got plus 110 for that Clippers series, and Kong's going to start putting some of these unders and parlays together. I like the sound of that. And AM, we can disagree on that. I think it's both worth watching and betting, my friend. But good luck with your action, AM. Thanks for all your input in NHL and MLB. Peter Loshak, let's get this one started. Set us up for game 1 of the play-in series, Hawks Magic.
Well, I thought that, leaning under and particularly first half under, but if the over is the Pig Milk play of the day and the line has gotten bet up, but the full game has gotten bet up to from like 217 up to 219. The first half is more than 50% of the full game total. All right, maybe I was wrong here. I was thinking that that unders, first half under, particularly, I was going to give that maybe I still will. And it, and I was also, Orlando was obviously better down the stretch, but this many points in this kind of a game is a little bit tough to take. I was leaning under. Obviously, the market has disagreed with that, as well as Pig Milk play of the day disagreeing with it. So there you go.
Let's talk about, we're going to talk about the Operation Garcia. Now, Operation Garcia, it cost me a lot of money last year, and it put me into a pretty dark place. I'd been tracking it for 3 years, and it'd been phenomenal through 2 years, and it blew up my face. I think I know what teams are a problem in it. And for those of you that don't know Operation Garcia, it's of course taking every player prop on the under. There's certain things you need. You need a superstar player on that team. The Pacers were horrible for Operation Garcia because they're such a team, and they were playing at a fast pace and they were going over. I now see it in hope that I can, handle it. What I see from these 2 games, and even last year, the horrific rounds of Operation Garcia were round 2 and round 3. I felt like it was going to find its way because it'd been so successful through the first 2 years when I wasn't betting it. But it was hugely successful in the play-in games and the first round, and I expect that to continue. It was hugely successful, and then the totals were 8 to 10 points lower than they had been after the play-in in the first round. They knew that the unders were hitting nonstop. I saw the initial move to the unders in both these games, and I was waiting to see if there's going to be buyback. There has been buyback, so we got a lot to talk about. So let's get into it right now. This side here, we have Orlando Magic at minus 5.5 at minus 104. It opened up at 5, so we've had a half-point move towards them. When we get to the total, we have a 219, and it's juiced to the over. I expect this to continue to rise. This is what I wanted to have happen. I wanted the sharps to come in and move this to the under, and then I wanted the public to come in and push this to the over. So, and I had to hold myself back from betting some of these player props already because I wanted to see this U-shaped movement. We got it, and I hope that we see a 219.5 here in a little bit. We do have a few books and some sharp ones. So let's get into the cash flow and then do a quick setup here. Saturated fading Riza Shea in this one. Saturated says Paolo might cooks the Hawks here. Justin McKelvey on Banchero over 29.5 points. And he's got the Magic -5 in his pocket. For this to work, I need if Paolo goes off, if one player goes off, if we get the outlier performance, which we so often get in these situations, this is hugely successful. So at this point, we have 55% of tickets, 56% cash on the Atlanta Hawks. On the total, we have 91 and 91 on the over. I don't feel necessary to run this all the way through this year like I did last year. I can stop this at any time, but I'm going to start with it here. And if anybody else is following this player props under, you can make bets now, sure, but about an hour before tip-off, you're going to get a bunch of extra player props. They come out very, very late. They're the 2s and the 3s. They're the bench players. Fernando Mendoza says Hawks are going to make it rain 3s. Saturated backing Okongwu and Trey assists. Robert Franklin Wagner under 25.5 points. Atlanta 4-1 over the last 5 games leading in, and same with Orlando. They're both shooting much better than they had throughout the season. Atlanta playing at the 9th fastest pace in the league, 101.2 possessions a game, while Orlando 25th fastest, 96.2 possessions a game, which is faster for Orlando. They've been, a little slower through most of the year. Atlanta shooting the ball beautifully, 52.1 from the field and 42 from 3. Orlando 47.9 from the field and 39.2 from 3. Atlanta comes in off its 3rd straight win, 117-105 at home over these Orlando Magic on Sunday, and lost snapped the Magic's 5-game winning streak, but they didn't care about that basketball game. 8th seeded Hawks will be in the play-in tournament for the 4th straight year. And, Atlanta lost to Orlando and then won its final 3 games and took over past the Bulls for that 8th place in the East. So the Hawks get 2 chances to make the playoffs here. If they lose here, of course, they host the winner of Wednesday's game between the Bulls and the Heat on Friday. The Hawks won their final 2 road games to get that 8th seed. Trae Young had a double-double in both of those games. He averaged 30 and 11.5 assists. Both teams scored at least 105 points in all 4 meetings in the regular season. But Trae Young has been talking. He's been talking about defense. We're all talking about playing improved defense here. Orlando's never been in the play-in. So 21 of the 30 teams have been in the play-in. And Paolo went for 33 in that 119-112 win, the home win that was, a week ago. And they looked good to close out the season, 9-3. Banchero was a monster. Remember, he missed 34 games and Wagner missed 20 games, both with torn right obliques, and they looked terrible without them. I think I have an angle that will bring me success, especially if I believe that Orlando will dictate the pace in this basketball game. I think the home team will dictate the pace. Saturated says Hawks are the better defensive team with Daniels and Suggs off the court. I think that is fair. So I will also be tweeting out the unders here. Last year, I just did it privately. This year, I'll be tweeting it out. One of the problems with this bet also is that I need to use credit to get it in. So they're all going to be in at 365, which is what my local is, basically. So I'm going to get worse lines than at some other books, and I will have to deal with that. But I expect this to succeed. If I was moving on a side here, I would be on the Magic, but I think this could easily be a Magic win and a Hawks cover. I think the Magic will win this basketball game, and if I do think that, I think Orlando will dictate the pace and the game will go under. I'm not going to bet the under because I'm going to bet every player prop under, but it wouldn't be. I could even move on the full game under as well, adding it, but these are going to be a little bit less. The player props are not going to be 250, which would have been betting NBA. They're going to be 200. So it's going to be a sweaty night, but I am going to start Operation Garcia tonight in both games, and I think it'll be. I'm most confident in Hawks Magic. Peter, are you moving on this one?
First half under 112.5 minus 103. If it loses, I'll lose 1.03 units. I can handle it.
I like the first half under as well. What is the number? Sorry, once more.
112.5 minus 103.
112.5 minus 103. I like it. I like it, Pete. And I'm going to keep an very close eye on the market to see if it keeps climbing and try to time it properly. Pete, let's set up game 2. This one's going to be very fun. The Memphis Grizzlies do concern me in Operation Garcia, but I think they're playing the perfect team for Operation Garcia. So, Pete, you want to set up our final game on the board today?
Yeah, I mean, kind of the same thing as the first game. Although in this one, I'm also leaning the dog, leaning Memphis. You know, of course, they had their coach fired, and then the replacement came in, and they they didn't really do that well with him. So that maybe sets them up to be a little bit maybe undervalued here, a little bit of a buy low spot for them. Of course, Golden State with with the veterans and the big names easily can get overvalued. They can be out rebounded, and so if Memphis can come in here and give a good solid effort, go for those rebounds and everything, I think they probably keep it close. And I'm also leaning under and first half under.
Well, let's roll here. Quick. I think Golden State is perfect for Operation Garcia. I fear the Grizzlies. Coin on the under 228 minus 105. Let's talk about the line history and the cash flow. This total right now in Memphis, Golden State is at 228. It's not bounced back. Damn, because this was 229 before we started the show. I guess it was 229 this morning. It was 229 and a half. Damn. I thought this was going in my direction. These are bets I probably need to make now as soon as the show ends. Because I see 227 and a halves. Oh, no. I see a 226 and a half at a sharp offshore. Shit. That actually, it started moving slightly to the over at 226 and a half, but God damn it. That 229 was absolutely perfect for me. Not good. I think I got to get these in a sap. Then on the point spread here, we have Golden State -7 right now. There are a couple 7.5s on the board. It's opened up at 6.5. It's moved to them at 7 and is juiced towards them. So 7.5s are on the way. Saturated on Edie rebounds, Ja points, Bane rebounds and assists, JJJ points, and fading Steph on the points. And Jimmy Butler steals and blocks over 1.5, and Podziemski PRA. Interesting. Saturated. We'll copy and paste all of that here for me. All right, let's set this one up a little bit more here. The play-in West. Memphis 3-2 over their past 5. 7th fastest pace in the NBA over that stretch. I thought about using the last 10 games. I didn't. I stayed with the 5 games. I switched it. I was going to switch back to 10. Memphis, 46.7 from the field and 35.7 from 3. Golden State Warriors, 2-3 over the past 5. 24th fastest pace. It's been slowing since Jimmy Butler joined. 45.1 from the field and 36.5 from 3. And Justin McKelvey on JJJ over 19.5 points in his pocket. Robert Frankel on Podziemski under 6.5 rebounds. We have the Grizzlies snapping their 2-game losing streak with a 132-97 victory at home over the Mavericks on Sunday. The Taylor Jenkins firing has not helped. They're 4-5 under Lasalo. The problem is Ja, who I stuck up for him for so long, and I'm not anymore. I really am disappointed in his character and leading the team. I'm disappointed in him. Memphis lost the first 3 games after the coaching change, and then they won 4 of their last 6. Lamar Stevens went for 31, the career best for them against the Mavericks. Warriors lost 124-119 overtime at home to the Clippers on Sunday. Not good. They're not playing well. The winner will get Houston Rockets, and will probably lose to the Rockets. Now, if it's the Warriors, it's going to be extremely fun, and we know things can change. Steph can change a series. But when Jimmy Butler came, things changed for the Warriors. 23-7, and still 23-7 down the stretch, and couldn't get the automatic berth. 1 game behind the T-Wolves. And it's too bad. They need a chance to rest. This is a tired group. Butler went 17.9, 5.9, 5.5. Curry went for 24.5 and 6 assists. I think that the Warriors are the bet here. I think the Warriors, even at 7, are the bet here. In fact, I think the Warriors win this game by margin and show out here. I do. Now, if they win by margin, then Operation Garcia is a huge success. So, wow, Ricky, that's crazy. I never didn't know Rays 0-14 last 14 years, April 15th. I think the Warriors win by margin and beat the Grizzlies badly. And I didn't feel that way initially. It's just kind of something that's built. 89% of tickets, 86% of cash on the over, and it's 50-50 on the spread, and this line's moving towards the Warriors. BJ bet the Warriors last night. I mean, I think that I add the Warriors -7 to Operation Garcia here. And if the Warriors smash and grab, it will be very good for Operation Garcia. I imagine that the Grizzlies will all go under the starters will all go under their player props here. Mr. Belvedere agrees with this too. Yeah, I think I pulled the trigger on this. I want the 7. I think the Warriors win this game comfortably here.
Really?
And Saturate says, are you considering that the loser in these games will have to look ahead to another game, might pack it in early if there's margin? Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Eat says, Jimmy, if the Warriors were well rested, I would agree with you. Warriors would blow them out. Yes, there's some tired, there's some exhaustion, but doesn't that make the impetus or the need to win this game even more? I mean, don't you have to get the rest and win this basketball game? Yeah, Warriors -7, and then I'll take Operation Garcia here. What are your thoughts after the breakdown, Pete?
I was leaning first half under and Memphis first half. Those are my leans.
Yes, I also think this will give us some nice live betting opportunities if Memphis does look good early. King Al in the house, he says, seems like everybody on Golden State team total over 117.5. Not sure about that. Not that I've seen, but I like this. I feel more comfortable about this breakdown. I think that Operation Garcia will work best in. I think it'll work great in both these games. I think I'm going to succeed. I think I'm going to come in here tomorrow very excited about it. That's my expectation. I think I got to bet the player props and the Warriors as soon as the show's over. I think I can wait on Atlanta, Orlando. Pete, anything you want to add? You're on the first half under 112.5 in the Hawks Magic.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess I was going to lean, going to add on a first half under here as well, but you think that Golden State's going to come out and just start draining them?
I mean, look, there's concern about that overtime game at home against the Clippers on Sunday. The Clippers would wax the Grizzlies. In fact, you could take it into a negative place saying the Warriors are exhausted, or you could say the Warriors are playoff ready right now. And they're going to take out a weak Grizzlies squad. Saturate asking if Kuminga's healthy, and Dougie Y's bonus play is the Warriors. Let's just do a quick look at the health factor here, which I should have done already. Let me just do this quickly, Pete, and then we will review action and put a bow on.
All right, I guess I'll hold off on that first half under.
I like it though. I again, the reason why I think this will be very successful. Yeah, Kuminga is supposed to be all good. The reason why I think this will be successful is because I believe that both home teams will dictate the pace in this basketball game. And both home teams play at a much slower pace than the road teams. And they won't get conned in to playing at a faster pace. They're going to dictate that slow pace. I think it's going to work here.
You think Golden State will dictate a slow pace also?
I do. I very much do.
All right, that's what I was leaning. I'll add that one on. Under 110, -108, first half.
All right, Loshak, under 110. That's 110 flat?
110, yes, -108.
All right, first half under for Loshak. This is going to be a fun night, man. This is going to be such a fun night. Doug White says Kuminga is healthy. His minutes were low last game based on coaching decisions. There we go. So, God, it's going to be a hell of a night. So, and also I'm going to be tweeting these out this year. So there we go. Sean talked him into Memphis team total under first half here. Sean, I would prefer the Memphis team total under full game. I have some concern about Memphis, looking good early. I have some concern.
Sorry, Jim. 104 minus 104 on that 110. There you go, baby.
On the first half under?
Yeah, Memphis Golden State.
What? Here, let me just do this here quickly.
Minus 104. Got it.
Oh, minus 104. Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's 110 minus 104. You're in business. All right, let's review all action. Thank you guys for rocking with us today. Let's review all action here. And we also have a birthday pick. The birthday pick for Philly Eagle Flyers girlfriend Kristen, 43 years. We've given that out. That was Seattle Calgary parlay. We also have Platinum Paul's birthday. So we need a birthday pick for Platinum Paul and the best bet parlay, one from each of us for Chang. So how do you want to do this?
Well, Platinum Paul's birthday pick can be Platinum Paul's birthday pick.
Well, while you are putting Platinum Paul's birthday pick together, let's throw this on.
We'll give him a parlay too, because he is pretty special. He is.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real here. And I won't add any of these races because you might not be able to parlay those things. We'll add him a parlay. Tampa Bay Lightning. That's one of them. And the other one, the Yankees have got to be the play, man. The Yankees have got to be the play. I'll give him Tampa Bay parlayed with I don't know actually. Maybe give him Tampa Bay -1. Why not? That's all right.
Lightning Yankees?
No. Just Lightning. Lightning -1.
I like it. All right. Platinum Paul getting Lightning -1. I like it. I like it a lot. Lightning -1. And then let's review our action before we unite on a parlay. First, I need to give the team totals here for Memphis. So team Memphis. Actually, why don't you review your action while I put this in? Could you review your
starting with
action?
everything? NHL and everything?
Just do NHL first.
All right. We got Bruins money line +121. Toronto Buffalo under 6.5 -113. That one I'm not sure about. That might have been a mistake. Tampa Bay Lightning -1 -113. Minnesota Wild race to 3 -180. Listening to Jim break down that game. Then Calgary money line +111 and the Calgary team total over 2.5 -135 and Seattle money line +100 and the Seattle team total over 2.5 -135. There was some line movements while we were doing the show in the opposite directions, back and forth. So we'll see where this closes, but I'll stick them both.
And for me, I have 7 bets. I'm not going to add the Bruins or the Islanders. I don't need to. I like my card very much, and I'm very concerned about the market moves against me. But that seems to add to my ROI, not take away from it. It's just uncomfortable is all. I have 7 bets. I get started with Flames -1 at +187. Then I'm on the Blues -1 at -108. I'm on a Blues Minnesota Calgary parlay. Blues Wild Flames at +367. I'm on the Blue Jackets -1 at +144. I'm on the Lightning -1 at -113. Kraken -1 at +154. And the Wild -1.5 at +104. King Al says, do I think Minnesota Wild game can go over 5.5? Let me just grab the numbers there. Yes, I think it can, but I think this is playoff mode with Minnesota with all their defensemen healthy and Bume watching. I think that they shut the Ducks down. So I would lean towards an under myself. Spooner's action, Mariners moneyline, Nationals moneyline, Athletics -1, Twins moneyline, and Kerry Carpenter over 1.5 bases. Peter, your MLB action.
Okay, here we go. Lodolo over 5.5 Ks -103. Verlander over 4.5 hits -148. Hepio over 4.5 hits -109. Yanks race to 3 -140. And Houston Astros first 5 -140.
I like it. Now, I've got, we don't need to review NBA. I've got things to go over with MLB. Slaughter is on Red Sox money line parlay. I have moved on the Reds. Other than that, that's the only bet I've made. It's Pirates -1 and the Phillies I'm going to look closer at, but they're not 100% bets. I'm definitely going to bet the Yankees on the run line, and I'd like to add something to that, whether that be a team total over a first 5 -1/2. I've got to decide. I'm going to be on the first 3 under in Atlanta, Toronto. I'm going to be on the Brewers money line. I'm going to be on the Minnesota Twins and the under in Mets Twins. For the A's, I'm not doubling up, but I want to be involved with them. I'm not entirely sure what that means yet. I'm going to be on the first 3 under 2.5 in Houston, St. Louis, as well as the Astros in some form. And then the over 8.5 in Angels, Rangers. And then it might be too late to be on the Cubs or the first 3 under. I've got to make that decision. I will make that decision. And then the Rockies first 3 +0.5. And that will be my action. Jose is going to jump on with us and give us MLB action. And then we're going to say goodnight. Peter, my friend, do you want to say, bid us adieu?
Yeah. I got a jet. Shout out to everyone. This is a great show. This was a really fun as hell show. Like I said, Jimmy the Bag, I'm actually having a pretty good NHL season, but I just love oh shit. Oh no.
What's wrong?
Oh, am I still there?
Yeah.
Oh, my tab crashed with the okay. All right, there you go. Sorry, it was a different tab. All right. Yeah, I thought that was a StreamYard tab. It was a great show. All I was going to say was that I love handicapping NHL, except for like right after the All-Star break. But other than that, I just love talking about it, handicapping it, win or lose. Much better when you win, though. We got a lot of bets today. I think it's a nice little card, and I'll see you all next week.
Wait, Pete. We need your half of the Chang Kim parlay. We're going to do all 3 of us, so we need your half.
LA is pretty good, but I mean, Seattle's going to win. Calgary, you know what? The more I'm thinking about it, just give them Tampa Bay. Florida's not going to come for this one. Tampa Bay, baby.
So the first leg of our 3-team friends and family parlay for Chang Kim is the Lightning. Any last words for the Cappers supporting the show, Pete, my man?
That's it. What a great fucking time this is every friggin' week. And we'll see you again next Tuesday. I'll see you again next Tuesday.
Be well, my man. Be well. There's our guy Chang there. So we have Lightning as the first leg. Jose, what is your leg? Are you muted? Okay, we can't hear you. Okay, that's fine. We'll get the audio set back up. I will give you my leg of the moneyline parlay. And I like that he used the Lightning. I like it.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Your leg for the parlay.
That's a great question here. I think it's going to be Quinn Priester and the Milwaukee Brewers money line -103, -105, even money, whatever you can get. Saturated, you're asking about the dongs. Don't you worry. I gave you Lawrence Butler, the law dog, earlier. There's not many people that have multiple home runs. Christian Yelich has a few against Flaherty, but I don't want to use him. Simeon has 2 against Kikuchi. Carlos Santana has 2, but the law dog, Lawrence Butler, will be 1. And the other one, actually, I'll just give you Lawrence Butler. That is it. So there you go.
Okay. Honestly, I like the Flames still very, very much. But I do not see how Seattle isn't the bet. I really don't. I really don't. I mean, the Kings coming off a 5-0 win, like they come on, they wrapped up. So look, it's a plus money spot, which is probably not the situation that you really want to give out when you're saying this is the best bet. But I just can't, from a situational standpoint, not see Seattle winning this hockey game. Let me just take one last look at one last thing here before I confirm that. We have, yes, it is Seattle. Very, very slightly over Calgary. Very slightly. So the friends and family parlay is Lightning, Brewers, Kraken. Lightning, Brewers, Kraken. That is the friends and family parlay. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us. You guys are so fun in the chat. Funny, insightful, great stats, great angles. Yes, Leonard Porsche Jr., my man, it does. And I'm going to tweet him out this year, but we don't have to. I'm not going to, if I start getting some cold feet or there's some teams like the Pacers last year that were crushing us, I'm going to, get off of it. And last year, the rounds 2 and rounds 3 crushed me, but totals started dropping 8 points from the play-in and the first round. So I think that it's got to be fluid. We've got to make moves as we go through. Lex Steele, Columbus in regulation. I'm on Columbus too, but that line move against us is not something that would make it a best bet type situation. So, yes, Operation. Look, we're going to have a lot to talk about this week. Good God. And, we're making moves and we're betting here. So let's get that cash. We're not racing Saturday. We will race on Thursday. Here. But we thank you guys so much. Kelly McKinnon, Saturated, Lex Steele, Coin, Philly, Eagle, Flyer, Swiggy. Swiggy, by the way, Jose, before we end, for anybody still rocking with us, could you put the link up for Pub Sports TV at the top of our chat? It means a lot to us if you would subscribe to Pub Sports TV. Mean a ton to us. Leonard Porsche Jr., Top Set, Chang Kim, Spooner, The Truth Teller, AOD, Franco in the house. Franco, hope you had a great birthday, my man. He says D-backs over 9. I like a lot. Robert Franklin and Scottie Pippen over 9.5 points. Bain under 19.5 points for Robert Franklin as well. Thank you guys so much for all you do for us. Sean Pulliam, thank you. Dougie Wise, Coin, King Al, Mr. Heat, Mr. Belvedere, Von Polo, Kongs, Clips, Justin McKelvey. Thank you guys so much for all that you do for us, man. It means the world. Jose, could you please bless our action and let's us into the future?
Yeah, let's go get that cash. It's going to be a lot of fun. Busy day for all of us, so let's go get it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And let's remember to grab those fucking udders and just milk these motherfuckers. So leche, los bookmakers.